live, so you're showing it to
okay.
the world.
Oh no, I shouldn't. He wants to go into. Never mind. I will show it to you.
Well, actually, no. I can do this. Boom. And boom, audio, hello. And this camera's only hello. I'm just gonna do a quick, I'm gonna check something. Apologies for your ears. It's all good. Alright, I just need to make sure that it's picking up this microphone and not that one again. So, hello. Welcome, everybody, today, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or wherever it is that you're seeing this video. Maybe you got ripped and uploaded to Vimeo, who knows? Hello to all of you. Welcome to Shiny Boys, episode 32. We're back for a normal length session. I'm hoping Baron is not here. How you doing? How you guys going?
Good.
It's good. Who knows how much longer it'll be good for. We'll see how it goes. But I'll get you all to roll some recap rolls for me, if you'd be so kind. I like the closest number.
The intimidating DM vibes are like on today.
I rolled an 8.
8? Alright. I want closest to 13.
It isn't me, it's a 6.
4 and 6.
Okay, it's
We've
me,
got a
Mario.
Mario cap today.
It's a Mario recap. Yes. So, I'm just going off the top of my head.
Go for it.
Yeah, we cut right in on the initiative order with Baron confronting Tamar. Some chaos ensued, lots of grappling, lots of laughter, live, laugh, and not a lot of love from Baron to Tamar. There was lots of interventions. Core cast a stink cloud just to shake things up. Vidriti and Chade just kind of watched from the sidelines, eating popcorn. And pretty much everything resolved itself. And yet no tension was also resolved at the same time. We left the library and made plans when we were going to go. We decided to head towards the city in hopes of reaching the safe place we designated to resurrect Dariel, which was Core's foster mum's home, before his time expired. We did try and do a little DMC with Baron. Didn't really work, but at least Jade tried.
Isn't that the second failed DMC with Baron and Jade?
Oh yeah.
At least
I don't think he's going to try anymore. I think he's done trying.
There was one, the first one was more of a group one, but this one was like a one-on-one, so I feel like it had a better chance.
I thought so too. It's okay.
I think last time Baron just made a tiny hut and he was like,
sure.
I'll be in here.
Mm-hmm. I think that Core was making everybody his seat, reclining on Avros, and
you were all his seat. Just
course.
Accept your fate.
Mm-hmm. And we had a rest, and then were attacked by something, which I've forgotten the name of.
Hags!
Hags! Oh yeah, there were some hags. 3 of them. It was a very, very powerful... Yeah, good thing we ran.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
This is a,
It's a good... I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's funny.
concerning start. That's like a new record. It's a personal best. Congrats, Emma, on the personal best. On the record time. What time is that? That's like 4 minutes in. Oh no. Emma's computer. Lots of warm wishes. Hope it recovers. Oh man. Dude, every session ends up being so chaotic. I always think like, okay, I feel like a rough idea of what's going on. No.
Never.
Off every time.
Never ever gonna tear us.
So how you doing?
I've been asked this question 3 times.
Thomas,
So
how
many
are
answers I can give you.
doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here with you guys, just chilling out with some D&D. It's good. I always like being here in video call form, interacting with you all on my
Yeah.
weekend away from work. It's been good.
Oh, we come away from work.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. I'm a few days off.
How are you
that'll be good.
celebrating?
How am I celebrating? With D&D. I just woke up, got the session right. When I woke up is when I sent the message, pretty much.
Where?
So it's good.
Wait.
Ooh,
Which...
purple.
Oh, about the
Oh,
Yeah, when I was like
adventuring.
3 hours left, that's when I was like awake. I was like, 3 hours left.
oh,
Am I
Yeah, I ended up getting up a little bit
Welcome
after
back. Hello.
back?
We missed you. It's good to have you back.
so much.
Yeah, I really love that phase I froze on. I think it's quite stunning.
I only sent it
actually.
to you, Emma, for courtesy reasons.
I know. Mm.
It's pretty good.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the last thing I said was something about core making people seats in hags. So we fought the hags, ran away, and now we are resting a bit more or running more. We're tree striding, I think. Did we
Yeah.
get a full rest?
At the last
so
session
we're
we
tree
left off
striding.
right before that point. I was just suggesting that kind of time would be coming. Last session I think you would have made it quite a ways through the forest. I can tell you exactly how much left of your journey you have before you reach the landmark that is the city of Torah, the big tree where everything is bustling. Let's see, let me just check. So you've made it. You've managed to teleport within the span of a couple hours at most. You've covered quite a lot of ground, many miles actually. And at this point, with the forest thinning out and the trees kind of spreading a bit further and further apart, making it a bit harder to use Druidi's pillar. By the time you'd get to a point in the forest where using the pillar is no longer a viable option, as in there aren't any big roots or enough trees around, and it kind of spreads into more of like a plains sort of area, like a field of grass and lavender. No, I'm ripping that off. Into big fields of
Yeah,
flowers,
copyright sensitive.
foliage. Copyright the disappointment crew. You would...
A tree city? Lavender?
Lavender. Is there a tree city in your world as well? We have to visit. I want to go to the tree city.
Eros.
Sayros is a tree.
The
Oh,
Sayros is built
yeah.
into the trees.
True. This will be similar.
Yeah.
I want to say just out of... Oh, right. Also, before we continue...
I sent a reference picture of it, but I think it sounds a bit different from the description. But it doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
fantasy.
This one's kind of like I guess the way this city looks, for those of you who would have been here before, or maybe you kind of know a little bit about it, you'll see it soon because we have it in map form. Shoutouts to Chet and Pekka on Patreon, because I think I forget sometimes to mention them until I actually use the maps. Follow them on patreon.com/czdepeku. That's where I get all my maps from. Shoutouts. Alright. The city itself is like a really big tree, and it's like a huge, massive, like, trunk. That's what it's called. I was going to call it a stump. The trunk. And a lot of the city is inside the trunk, on the inside of the city, but you can kind of go out onto the branches as well, and there's like bits and bobs and things here and there. It's not...
It's like the faraway tree.
Kind of, yeah. And I've been calling it a city this whole time, which is... Maybe I'm using that term a little bit loosely. It's more of like a really big hangout. It's less so... It's a lot more natural than it is...
It's a hippie commune.
Kind of, yeah. People are chilling there. The tree
It's a
is like
hippie
very
commune.
much like mostly natural form, with just like,
Hippie
you know,
commune.
stuff added onto it. It's not a whole lot of like, there's a brick building structure like on a branch kind of thing, you know? It'll be a lot of like, there's people chilling inside. There's
A
like
commune for
carvings.
hippie.
Yeah, exactly. Hippie commune, essentially. With a hell of a lot of dryads and a few other races from all over the place, because it does as well have a teleportation circle to the material plane. That is something you guys would know because it is a major hub. So there are going to be other races there. You can kind of garner at least that much. But that aside, with this kind of amount of the journey past you, you will have at this point covered just over half the trip, which means that you have about, and I've written in my notes a very precise number, but you have 3.75 days ahead of you now without the aid, or seemingly without the aid right now, of pillar transport. So it's going to take about that much time just traversing without major distractions or fights or anything like that. That'll add to the time a little bit. If you have any other ways of transporting, that'll speed up that process naturally. But at this point, I think exiting out of like the denser part of the forest. Sorry, say again.
Horsey.
Oh my god!
Nay, nay.
We do have a horse, and some of us can wild shape into horses.
True, yeah. Oh, the horse.
And some of us have the same walking speed as a horse.
Wait, is your walking speed 60?
Oh, it's 45, but I can run.
Okay.
True, you can run really fast. But yeah, the horses has
Yeah, I could
60-foot
run
movement
90
speed.
feet in 6 seconds.
If you... We'll get to movement and I guess how you're traversing this in just a moment. But
I mostly said that for jokes.
as you're now collected together, let me just make sure I understand who's here with the party, because you've got the horse, which I actually didn't write in my notes. So plus HORSE. Also there. I totally forgot that Tamar still has this goddamn creature type on his back. Chaotic. Okay. So
Oh
with
my
you,
god, it's on his back, yeah.
he's carrying his all tied up.
I think Nadre sorry. So I think Dridi had words English. Oh god, hang on.
Gambare.
Not about English.
English. No. Actual
Dridi
words, please. Fuck.
Had a...
Dridi
describe-
had a conversation to get them to take the horse and have the horse as a regular horse, not like a riding companion on Tamar's back, because that's just...
It's good exercise.
Tamar is a mount.
Tamar.
And the horse
is
is the
mount.
rider.
Well,
mount.
he's carrying it right now.
To mount.
Yeah, I thought back at the library, Dridi had convinced them to use horse as actual, like, horse mount, not...
Did you actually? I was under the
Very
impression that
fast,
Tamar was
yeah.
still... He looked at Cora, and Cora was like,
That was why Baron ended up getting the horse placed on top of him, and that's what started the whole fight.
huh? Well, it can just be... I mean, okay. I was interpreting it as the horse was tied up this whole time, so if you want to attempt to untie it, we'll do that in-game now, because the events would have played out a little bit differently had the horse been completely untethered.
Can we put it down when we're not like traveling?
Not like down, like not completely untied, just like
I think they like put it down as in...
rather than
I
like.
thought you meant put it down. I wouldn't be surprised if Cor would.
But as you walk...
Tamar makes a good mount. Just leave it.
Wait, okay, so Avros is with you, Tamar is with you, Tiki is with you, Esmeralda's with you, and Sapphire Man is with you. That's
Can
all
we
the
not have
NPCs.
left Tiki and Esmeralda in their natural habitat?
Yeah, can we leave them in the
Yeah,
natural world?
please.
Yeah, I think we would have said goodbye.
Well, we
been
can
like-
act that out today, because they're with you at the
Cool.
edge of the forest. I think Baron would have tried to convince them to come along, so that's maybe why they would have trekked this far. But as you're all at this point, before we get into any good old-fashioned roleplay, I would like one of you to roll. Let me just do this very quickly.
I'm scared.
A
I
dice
think
for
for
me.
that reason.
Lily, could you please roll a d12? Just very fast in haste.
So,
For moi. And tell me your number.
3.
3. Ooh! Okay. This is something
Please
that
be mermaids.
you would see initially,
Oh, that'd be cool.
but then everybody would get a glimpse of it kind of at the distance, because this would be a bit obvious. It is very dark now, given that it's nighttime. It's a little bit less shimmery and sparkly, but just still sparkly enough that you can get a view of the surroundings. There is something that stands out to you in the distance, kind of nearby, kind of far away. It's kind of an oxymoron, but you know, it's just that it's a little bit further away. It's hard to say exactly. Depth perception is a bit difficult with this much darkness looming over the fields. There is a twinkle of something kind of metallic in the distance on the floor. It seems like there's something on the ground. You see it in the distance.
Cor
It's a
sees shiny, he takes off.
Cor's a bit sus, but he's like,
Do you want to roll a perception check for me in that case? If you're
Yes.
eyeing it.
I haven't even opened my sheet yet. Hold on. Give me uno momento.
Un momento, por favor.
Oh yeah, we also have course familiar.
Perception.
True.
Ooh,
Yep. You also have your familiar
Let's
if you'd like to check it out with that. If it's still with you.
Of NPCs that we have with us.
It's pretty good. Hold on.
Nice.
I gotta find my plus. Not Brian. I know Brian's off by heart, but Cor's is 16.
16.
He's not super perceptive.
It is enough to get an idea of
still
what this
pretty
might be. This seems like it's the kind of metallic object that seems like it might be like a piece of some sort of armor or weapon potentially, although from what you can see, it doesn't appear to twinkle in a very weaponly shape. seems to be kind of flat and a little more round-ish from this distance. It's hard to say exactly how far away it is, maybe 30 feet in front of you, if you'd like to inspect it further. But
I would like to send my familiar to
alright,
inspect.
send your familiar over. Now, can you remember what does your familiar look like again?
It's a little bird.
What kind of
Tweet.
what kind of bird?
What kind of bird?
Yeah.
Hummingbird.
Yeah, go with
Oh, it's cute.
It's a pink hummingbird.
That's
Alright.
pretty.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, I bet that exists as well. I'm
Cute,
gonna find
cute.
it.
Alright, it gets natural disadvantage to stealth. No.
Punk hummingbird.
As you go.
That's Lincoln's familiar.
Yeah.
It actually came up with options for a punk hummingbird. Wait.
Punk hummingbird?
Oh my god. I tried
Oh
to
my
find-
god!
He can express himself however he wants.
That's amazing. That's incredible. What a
Right,
cool
okay.
familiar. Oh my god, what a rock star. I wish I was that cool. I wish I
Oh,
was
it's
as cool as
beautiful and it's definitely for core. Wait.
it's majestic, alright.
Oh, this one's got orange on it. Let me pick a different one. Oh,
The torch inside.
oh it's... okay. I mean, there's still a little bit. You can see the pink and the blue.
I love this one. Oh, cute.
There's some bigger pink. More pink.
Oh, look at all of them.
Yes.
Cause one definitely looks like a pygmy puff. It's
Oh
just
my goodness.
Oh,
Well, your pygmy puff hummingbird combo makes its way over.
Maybe it's like a mix between like a melon bird, like with like the round, like a...
Just completely orb shaped.
he's very small.
As you fly over, you would get a little bit of a better view. Now, does your familiar have stats?
Mm.
I think it would just be normal like
Mm.
check if hummingbirds actually have stats. You
I probably don't need you to roll for this, but I'm just curious. Because this is a, I mean, it depends on what you want to do with it, but...
sorry, what do you want me to roll?
no, I was just asking if it had stats, just in case you do need to roll for anything. But from what you can
Familiars
see...
do have
Oh, I get it.
stats.
It's AC is 26 because they're so fast. I was like,
Yeah.
why is AC
Oh,
so
yeah,
high?
just hard to hit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it has. I was like, wow, that's way too high. And then I looked at the other stats. I was like, oh no, it seems legit.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of AC, this does look like the type of item that would increase that sort of modifier. As you look
Core's
at it...
gone. He's running to it.
Core's running
Can't
to
even
it.
wear armor. He's just like a shiny. Oh no, he can't wear armor. He can. He's a druid too. Sorry.
yeah.
Well, it's not quite armor, but it is in that sort of vein. What you run to and pick up is, in fact, a very strange-looking shield. I will get you to roll for me either your choice of Arcana or Investigation to see if you can identify what it is.
He's good at both of those. Let me check which one he's better at.
Bold of you to assume that anything is strange to core at this point as well.
He's equally good at both. I'm gonna go for an Arcana.
Alright,
That is a 14.
14? That, I'm gonna say, for this kind of shield, is probably high enough to realize what kind of shield this is. Given that you're also a magic user, this gives you proficiency in that sort of field, so you would probably be able to identify this shield within a reasonable doubt. There's a small chance you could be totally off, but for the most part, you seem fairly confident that you've identified what this in fact is. It is a shield of missile attraction. Now, what this shield does, it's just a little bit of an interesting, it's a rare magical item.
All of us. Like, are you sure?
Yeah, that's right, it's a missile attraction. Now, how it works is, I'll send you a link to
It
what it
smooth
does.
talks the missiles for you to
Sr-
stop them hitting
I
you.
roll to seduce the missile.
Seduce the missile.
While holding this shield, you have resistance to damage from ranged weapon attacks. Curse. This shield is cursed. Attuning to it curses you until you are targeted by the remove curse spell or similar magic. Removing the shield fails to end the curse on you. Whenever a ranged weapon attack is made against a target within 10 feet of you, the curse causes you to become the target instead.
Oh, sorry, what's the benefit again?
There's benefits.
You found this shield. It's
It's shiny. That is the benefit.
it's a shiny shield.
Alright,
Only
put it
benefit.
down.
You put it down.
I want to find out the rest of it, though. I want to know more. I wanna know
That's
the-
about as much as you can tell from picking it up. Now that's as much as you would be able to garner from that sort of check. You would know that you would have to magically attune to it in order to become cursed by it. Just holding it would not curse you, so you don't have to worry about that. Plus, being a magic user, you'd probably be able to tell a little bit if there was a sort of magical energy residue from the shield itself. So just holding it or taking it with you, it wouldn't cause anything to be cursed. It seems like. It
I
is.
yell at Baron. Come here. Bring your hat.
I guess
Also,
Baron
comes
comes.
over.
We have some sort of interaction where Baron comes over with his hat, and I guess Baron would.
What on earth do you want from me, Core? How could you crawl over here? Walk all this way. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is what Baron says
Cord-
to you
Cord
as he
drops the
approaches
shield into
you.
Baron's bag.
Alright, you pop into the Baron's bag, you have an extra item in your arsenal. Ooh, okay, what other treasures got found? Okay,
We can give it to Dario if we don't like him when he wakes up.
let's
Lily, I send you all of the flying familiar stats I could find.
Wow, thank you.
There's 4. You can choose.
I will send
I
this
guess.
also,
Unless-
just to be safe, so I don't forget that this is a thing. Let me just post this to you into. I need to update this Discord server. I apologize, but into Core's inventory. I'll pop this in here just so you know what this is.
Technically, it's Baron's inventory.
Baron's inventory, but you picked it up and inspected it, so this is the information that's relevant to you, I guess. But everybody would be able to garner this sort of information if it was to, you know, if anybody was to ask about it or anything like that. So, my pen just fell. At this point in time, it looks like it's about time now. It's getting later, very late in the evening, close to dinner time, sleepy time, depending on what you guys want to do. The melon birds themselves look like they're lingering a bit behind you, looking like they maybe are a bit hesitant in coming with you on your travels at this point. They look at you expectantly as Tiki flies off immediately. Esmeralda hops over to you on the ground. Thank you for taking care of my son. I really appreciate it. He doesn't have many friends. He will treasure this experience, I know. Thank you. You were wonderful. If you need me, I'll be, well, probably around the library. And
Understood. Goodbye.
good luck.
Thank you for
Good luck.
accompanying us. Goodbye, Tiki, and I forgot your other name.
Tiki and Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
Tiki leaves without saying a word. Esmeralda.
Even better birds.
Esmeralda looks a bit teary-eyed as she flies off. She looks like she's really cherished the time spent with you.
I've decided I'm going to do Baron impressions this evening until week, guys.
Tiki bumps Baron on the head, almost knocking him over as Tiki flies by. As he makes his way across back into the forest. And they slowly disappear into the distance. Let me remove them from my initiative order. Cross out Tiki, cross out Esmeralda. And with that, you are now in a very open, fieldy kind of part of the forest, question mark. Could you even call it a forest at this point? There are trees about, although they are much smaller than the trees you've grown accustomed to in the very dense part of the forest that you were previously teleporting through. At this point, it is getting fairly dark, and you are getting a little bit tired, having been awake the whole day. Tamara looks at you, Core, Jade, Verdridi, and Avros, with a bit of a tired expression as well. Do we have any plans for what we're doing throughout the night?
How far was the city, Thomas?
You've got 3.75 days.
The city?
Yes.
Oh. Can't we just keep going?
For 3 days at night?
Can't we just fast forward? We're just gonna keep walking, right?
Okay.
Unless there's anything you guys
then-
want to do, then I'll skip through. But if you guys want to take long rests during the night, taking watches as you go, then we can skip through the forest as much as we can.
Sure, yeah. I don't have any goals.
Neither.
That's just a statement. I don't
I have no life goals.
I have no goals. Now my character, I don't think there's anything that Jade particularly wants to do until they get to the city, because he knows that's a safe place they can have a proper pause.
Okay.
But he will
Yeah.
do first watch / whatever watch you want.
Yeah, sure. We don't have to. We don't have to necessarily go through. Well, actually, we can do it this way. We can do a roll to see if anything happens during any of the nights. Since you guys have 3 days, we'll go through them one day at a time. Right now, we've got a night going today before this sleep. 16 days till Dariel's toast. So
we'll be fine.
I'll get a new person to roll for me. Emma, would you like to roll a d12 for me?
Yeah. One
very
new hit
quickly.
on.
And just let me know what you
5.
get. 5. It passes
Please.
peacefully. You go through the night, looking at the night sky,
Yay.
just taking it all in.
Guys,
It's
we
all
just need
zen
roll fives.
and serene.
I need to get a proper dice tray. This dice is getting a little bit worn down.
Oh.
Hello, around dice.
Yeah. The D20 is still fine.
After your big sleep, the morning approaches. Your night is mostly uneventful. You've taken watches. You're all well rested. Make sure you take long rests if you haven't already. I'm going to make sure I do that for tomorrow because he took damage before. So now he's refreshed. Avros, squishy boy, but didn't take any damage at all somehow throughout any interaction ever at this
Because
point.
he doesn't get involved.
Laughs from
I'm
the
gonna
sidelines.
Step away. Use your words.
Tamar always throws himself into the fights. But as you venture forth, you do see a figure in the distance on your next day. Now, at this point, you've got...
Core has lucky. I just looked at Core's sheet. He has
Oh.
luck feet.
Yeah.
There we go. Easy. Luck feat. You can reroll dex rolls as well. My god.
I know Brian has it, but I didn't know Core had it.
But how? Is it under features and traits? Because it might be a changeling feature.
It must
Or
be when I
classic.
picked it.
That'll be interesting.
I don't know. It's just got it.
I wonder if changelings are natural. Like, that'd be cool.
No, I think that was the
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That may, in fact, come indeed.
I took it with the ability
Handy.
score improvement. That's what
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
A while ago. I don't know what happened.
As you
But
walk
yes.
throughout your second day, Daryl's got 15 days left. I'm keeping track of it now because I wasn't keeping much track of it before, but I will keep you guys updated so you know where we're at and so that you guys don't accidentally add days. Happens sometimes. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, he's still got 27 days left, right?
27
Yeah.
days? Alright, 27. Yeah. But with that, you travel for the day. You're taking your surroundings. It seems pretty serene. The Feywild is a very beautiful place. Taking it all in now when you have a nice time ahead of you without much interference, it is pretty safe, pretty serene, and pretty peaceful. Throughout the day, I will get you, Aelin, to roll a d12 for me to see how you guys go on this trek, on your path for this next day.
Oh, I would like to say that after the long rest, Dritty looks like regular tiefling self again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's another 5.
It's another
Aha.
5. As you walk, you're keeping an ear out to see if there's anything fishy going on around you. You're keeping an ear out especially, considering that it seems like there isn't a whole lot of dangerous stuff in your near vicinity. So you're listening out just in case you hear anything interesting or intense or anything like that. And there are a couple things that do strike you as noteworthy, I guess. You do hear like there's a little bit more wildlife in the background, kind of in the distance. Creaking, peeping, squeaking, walking around just in the distance. And if you look hard enough, you could maybe see some sort of little critters walking about and giving the place a little bit more livelihood than it was in the dense forest. It seemed like in the denser part of the forest, there was a lot of wildlife as well, although it was a lot harder to see, given that it was harder to see through like all the trees so closely spaced together. Whereas now you've got a much more open view of the entire Feywild. You can even see the curvature. No, it's not that big. But you see
Curvature of the earth.
the curvature of the earth. You see quite a lot. There is something that you see that is a bit weird. You see... I want you all to roll for me perception checks on this day as you walk.
Look, that's a bit weird.
21.
21! Okay.
15.
15?
It's 18.
18? All of you see a distant glimmer in the sky in your direction, the direction that you're heading. You see sort of like a shimmer. And then before you know it, something flies by you.
Oh, fun.
Making a very loud noise. It takes a moment for you to realize what this might have been. Those of you who rolled higher may have gotten the idea a little bit quicker than you would have otherwise. A small, flying little red bird, pigeon maybe, flies by. And, Cora, you roll a 21. I want you to roll an intelligence check for me as well.
Let me just check what my intelligence is. It's pretty high. He's pretty smart. I know it doesn't seem like it.
What was you going to say, Virginia?
Oh, I was just going to say, do we recognize this barb?
You can all roll intelligence checks for me if you're looking at it and it seems kind of peculiar.
17.
17?
I rolled a 17 on the dice.
Yeah, int is
19.
18.
19 and 18. You all recognize this
17,
bird.
18, 19.
And it's a bit weird to see this bird here. But very quickly, you narrow it down. There aren't very many fast birds in existence that are this quick, that go at Mach 5 speeds. This is very clearly, you could safely say, with relative certainty, Scarlet, which is Captain Stronghand's messenger pigeon. The last time you saw him, he was on the material plane. You are now in the Feywilds, trekking to a city in the distance. And it's heading from the city to roughly where you came from. Not exactly, not quite that sort of specific direction, not straight to the village, but just overhead in the general southern direction of Feywild. And it is that color. It does have that characteristic red gleam to its feathers as it flies through. Yes, Virginia.
Captain Stronghand Dodgy.
Do we have? Does the bird have a package or a letter?
I'm gonna say that. Okay, for those of you who rolled high enough, I think you all rolled really high actually, so maybe you would all see this. You would have seen some sort of thing attached to it. Not necessarily the size of a package, it's hard to say exactly what, but it was carrying something. Maybe a letter, potentially. That, given that sort of size, that would be a natural sort of conclusion that you could come to if that's what comes to your mind first.
It's already too far away from us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I try to
this-
do a thorn whip to take the package or the letter?
It would have, by the time you would have realized what's happened, it would have already been quite a way away. So this is all checks now.
If you had to give us some feet on that, though, how far
Yeah.
is quite a way?
At this point, maybe 200 feet.
Okay, that's not impossible,
Wait,
guys.
I have
Look
an
at your
idea.
sheets.
Thomas,
Yes?
can I dimension door up to grab the bird and then fall back down?
Oh,
And
fuck.
get
That is
Baron to feather for me?
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Baron, feather for me, and then Core's gonna bamf up and try and grab the bird.
Dimension Door has that range, right? That works.
Say please.
Yeah, 500 feet.
Yes, yeah.
500 feet, you can do it. Okay, so how are you going to intercept it? Because it is going pretty fast. So are you going to Dimension Door?
I'm gonna dimension door in front of it, lift up my shirt, and try and get it under. So I'm like that.
Alright, I'm going to make you do a check for me in that case, which I think with your ring might actually just succeed automatically. But as you do this, you teleport into the sky, very far off the ground. You're very high up as you attempt to catch Scarlet with your very being.
Yep.
I'm going to get you to roll for me a dexterity saving throw to catch it. However, if you do catch it, unless you have some way of negating damage, you will take damage from getting hit by it.
I'm trying to catch it in my shirt, not me.
It is going really fast. This is like trying to catch a
could
bullet with your
navigate
teeth.
that.
I'm sure I could never. Yeah, I mean.
Okay, if
But
you're
we're really
okay,
high.
if you are trying to catch it with anything other than your body, with just your shirt might rip trying to catch it at this speed.
You are underestimating the fabrics that Core invests in.
Do it. We can heal you. It's
Yeah,
worth it.
legit.
It wouldn't be.
Okay,
It
I'll
wouldn't be
just
much.
see what I roll. Okay. Dexterity save.
Dexterity save. Let's go.
Well, I have
Regulation.
luck feat, so I might go ahead and just use that. I've never used it before. With a ring. Wait, let me just check what the ring does again.
Ring is an auto success if you fail it,
Ah. Where is my ring?
and that way you don't have to use a luck point if you just in case.
It's a good point. I can't find my ring. Can't find my ring.
Dum, 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 dum.
Ring of evasion.
I think I have a copy of it in my notes. I can just quickly scout it out for you.
Ring of evasion. Got it.
There you go. Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use the ring of evasion. One. Yes, I succeed now.
Alright, you auto succeed, you catch the bird. You are going to take a little bit of damage, a little bit of bludgeoning damage as the bird gets caught in your shirt. As it tugs you, hits you in the torso a little bit, you're going to take a total of, oh no,
50
one
damage.
bludgeoning damage.
It's one.
Just
That's
one.
all of his hit points.
That's all my hit points as a wizard.
Core, you're in death saves. No, you catch it, and you are now falling with a bird that has been knocked unconscious.
I start running. to get to him if I can, even though I know he's going to
Yes,
fall.
same.
Alright, you guys run back in the direction from which you came, about 250 feet.
If they don't get to me in time, I can levitate myself, but
Okay, I think Baron is casting Featherfall on you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what was that? Okay, so
if
Featherfall.
I feel like they're not going to save me, I can save myself. But
Alright, you would definitely... Oh, actually, they might be able to make it there just in time. You're high enough and falling slowly enough with your light weight.
yeah, he's like a bird. He's like, phew.
The air, the gust of wind, the air in the sky is cushioning your fall speed just a little bit, not quite accelerating to terminal velocity. As we would expect in a vacuum, you are being cushioned a little bit by the wind itself. Now, who wants to attempt to catch Core? Because you guys would make it there in time.
I will.
Alright, roll for me
I
a...
get there before I do, so.
Okay, dexterity saving throw, go for it.
Ah, I've never failed this before.
Oh.
If it looks like it's bad, I'm going to levitate myself. Just saying.
Oh, the natural one.
Can I give it an attempt?
I have a +7 to dex.
Okay. Jade.
Full flat in your face.
Okay. How does this go? With a
I
nat...
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that I'm panicking because this is a very tall height, and in the split second, I can't figure out the trajectory where he's going to fall. So I misjudge it, and I stop too early, and I just have my arms out, and then he starts falling, and I realize it's not going to happen. Then Drita just rushes past me, and I'm just still there like, oh.
What have I done?
Alright, as
What
you
have I
stand, ready to catch something in the sky, with your arms open, ready to catch Core, you notice that Core is not, in fact, falling in the place that you thought he was going to fall. Rodridi, roll for me a dexterity saving throw as you sprint by this gemstone man, this gemstone boy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't have my phone on me. It's a natural 20.
Oh, shoot.
Jay
With
really prepped himself.
Grace, as if you had prepared for
Absolute
this
practice.
very moment your entire life, you run right to the spot. Within a millimeter's point of error, you manage to catch Core with relative ease as Core falls into your arms. He's down. He's safe. As you look, you see
Spend one of my Fey pool energy to heal that bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
that 1 point of bludgeoning damage healed
Aw.
Yeah.
right back up.
He looks better
Core
than
is
ever.
looking great. Core,
Yeah, it was
I
a
just had
5
full-on
plus a 1
spark facial.
HP.
A wave of sparkles just cascades over Core's body. He's like, ah, worth it.
okay.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe.
As that has happened, Core, looking at the bird that you now possess unconscious in your lap, you notice that it is no longer carrying a letter of any kind. Jade, as you stand a little bit further back, you see in the air there is something fluttering down towards you from roughly the direction that Core fell.
Redemption. I'm going to catch it.
Alright, you attempt to catch the letter fluttering from the sky, and I'm going to say with your check of choice, you can jump up, grab it, wait for it to fall. How would you like to do it?
Acrobatics. 26.
26? Alright, how do you do it?
I have a moment of just like, oh, I fucked this up. I see it coming, take a couple of steps back, and do a floor routine. I, like, on my arms, handstand, flip, 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 and whilst I'm doing a aerial, I grab it, and then I stand up as though nothing happened and walk back to my friends. It was
Alright.
mostly just for me. I'm pretty certain not a single person saw that. I
Sapphire
want
Man
that
is
to
looking
be
at you in
canon.
awe.
No one saw this. This is just for Jade. That's what he believes. That's what he believes.
That's what he believes, and that's how you experience it. You do notice that there is a little bit of glitter on the letter from the impact that it made with Core himself.
Or is a glitter bomb. Cherry bomb comes
So-
to mind for some reason.
You all coalesce together. You are now in the forest once more, with a letter in your hand, Jade, and with a messenger pigeon that definitely seems to identically match the one that you know, Core, that Captain Stronghand had in your lap too. And Judy, you're there with a Core in your lap.
Can I also use a Fey pool and to pop the bird back up so that it doesn't die?
Yeah, sure, you can. So the bird doesn't have very many hit points, so it does recover. Wait, how many are you healing for?
Oh, it got 2 and then 1 temp.
2 plus 1 temp. Cool. Alright, it is looking a lot better. Seems like it's coming to, only just having realized what's happened. It
Hello
looks at
there.
all of you in utter confusion. Now, Core, are you holding the bird down?
Yes, I'm like got my hand around it.
Okay, you're holding it in that case. It's restrained. It is a pigeon. It doesn't have much strength. It attempts to fly out of your hand, and you feel a very strange sort of tugging that you've never felt before as far as birds are concerned, right? This thing is faster than any living creature you've seen on any plane of existence so far. It attempts to shoot out of your hand.
Nope.
But it seems like it's unable to. You do get a kind of feel for it. It seems like it is quite a magical creature.
I stopped
Maybe
holding
it's
the bird.
partially innately so, but it is a bit strange. It is quite unlike any messenger pigeon you've seen ever before. This is the steroid cheater of marathon sprinters of the bird world, in a
I
way.
give it a little shake and hold it up to Judy. Nature check. Bullet bird.
Yeah, I can nature check the bird.
Go for
Have you
it.
ever seen anything like this before, Judy?
Let's find out. That's 11 plus 6, 17.
17. This messenger pigeon seems to resemble pretty much most messenger pigeons that you would find on the material plane, especially in places that have high postage traffic. It does seem to resemble that kind of pigeon quite closely. Although with its unique, very deep red color, it is very unusual in that sort of sense. And there is a very strong magical energy that emanates from it. Can't exactly tell. It doesn't seem like there's a spellcaster or anything like that, but it is a very innately magical creature. And it does seem like it radiates that sort of natural energy that would be expected of some sort of creature native to the material plane. So it isn't anything crazy that's from like some nether region somewhere in the hells where it's, kind of weird. It is a material plane creature, but it just doesn't match anything you've ever seen before. You have seen it with Captain Stronghand before, but it's kind of unclear what kind of creature this would be passed at. This is totally foreign to you as far as what you would know about messenger pigeons in general. Those being fairly fast pigeons, but not not to this sort of crazy extent.
Can I Arcana check it based on that?
Yeah, go for it. Arcana check.
13 plus 6 is 19.
19. You get the feeling, this is a bit of a weird feeling, weird sensation. It does have a lot of natural magic inside it. It exudes a lot of magic in the same way that maybe a spellcaster sort of would, but not in the way that a magical item would. Did Emma crash? Emma? Hello?
It's okay. Just go on as though nothing happened.
Oh, did you miss anything?
What was the last thing you said?
I've just been talking about the messenger pigeon. I didn't realize that you were gone.
No, it's okay. I think that was routine information anyway. So
Okay.
I will-
Well, okay, just to summarize, basically it's a creature that looks like it's native to the material plane and it seems to exude a lot of magical energy. And Core has done an Arcana check as well now on it to see what kind of magic maybe. Doesn't seem like there's any sort of specific spell cast on it, but it is a kind of magical creature that you'd expect to be naturally magical in the same way that a unicorn has far more innate magical energy than a horse would, for example, right? But they're both, in the Feywild, would be like magical creatures in that sort of sense. In the same way, this pigeon seems like it is very, very, very innately magical. It has a very strong magical power in the same way that a spellcaster or a strong wizard would. And that's what you kind of gain from that.
The bird is a wizard.
Now that do we have the letter it was carrying?
Jade has that letter.
I
We
showed
should
them.
probably release the bird so that there is not suspicion.
But I
We know
kind of
that-
like the bird.
Read the letter, reattach it, and then release the bird.
Sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should have a look at what's in there. Maybe it's important information, and then let the bird go on its way.
I'm booping the bird. I'm having a good time.
The bird looks confused.
Can I roll animal handling to see if it likes my boop?
You can roll animal handling.
Okay.
Also, Journey's just gonna keep carrying Core until he
Ooh!
actually let down.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, it seems
I'm-
like it's in an unusual place. It hasn't ever been cradled like this before, or it seems like it hasn't been booped. Doesn't seem like it dislikes it. Seems like it's
Making progress.
despite being knocked unconscious out of the air, carrying a package of some size, some kind, it seems to be abnormally okay with this situation.
It's okay with this.
It's an interesting looking messenger pigeon. If it even is one. I've never seen one so
I'm gonna
fast.
call it Larry. I don't like the name Scarlet.
As you call it Larry, it looks at you.
Larry.
It seems to be the way it looks at you and the way it looks around is a lot more. It's like a university student on their 5th Red Bull on the night before exams. It's very just energetic.
Can I
Good
make,
Larry.
I'm not the person to do this. Can I make an Arcana check? Just to see.
You
This is
can.
fun.
Core did make an Arcana check before, but you can make one for yourself
Oh,
as
okay,
well.
he's already done that. Oh, okay, no, man. Sorry, I missed it. No.
It seems like it's just like it's almost exploding with how magic it is for a bird of its size, but it doesn't seem to be
Okay.
any sort of magic that's been cast on it. This seems like in the same way that like the analogy that I gave before is that like a horse in the Feywild might have like an innate sort of magical energy to it, and then a unicorn would be like extremely magical because that's a creature that can cast magical spells and that sort of thing. So you'd expect
Yeah.
that creature to be innately very magical. In the same sense,
Okay, I understand you.
this is like the unicorn equivalent in terms of magical
The
energy.
unicorn pigeon.
Because it doesn't have a horn or any sort of way. It seems like you could
A
maybe,
unigen.
for anyone who was kind of thinking about it, there you might be able to ascertain that this might have something to do with the reason why it's so abnormally, insanely fast when it travels. But other than that, it's hard to say. So, Avros looks at you all. So, are we going to pry into this letter, or what's the deal?
Yes, of course we are. What does it say?
That was the.
Okay, are we doing it in such a way where the letter looks like it hasn't been tampered with? Is there a way we can do that?
Is there anyone here with the skill to refix a letter?
Let me check.
Baron? Maybe? I feel like he.
Avros looks at you. I can do this.
DM. Okay.
Yeah.
So DM.
Everyone's
Who can
many
do
uses.
this?
He does have mending. as a low key as the cleric boy that he is, surprisingly, coming in handy for once.
He's good.
He is, but he hasn't joined in the battles too much yet. He's just mostly avoided it, and as a result,
He's
is
pacifist, obviously.
Yeah.
listen. If you need, I became a cleric just so I could break into
Technical.
people's letters. No, I can do the mending if need be. If you decide to put a tear into this letter, into any part of it, I can mend it if need be. As long as we're careful. I don't know anything about leaving our fingerprints or anything like that on the letter. That's outside of my jurisdiction.
I have long nails. If you want me to, peel it open.
Tamar looks at you with like a sort of concerned expression, and Avros looks at you with like a "that's a good idea" kind of expression. I like it. I like it. Nails. Fabulous. Aesthetic. And useful. Okay, let's do it.
Oh, who will hold the bird while Cora opens the letter?
Yes, who wants to hold the bed?
I'll hold the bird if nobody wants to. Jade, how about we hold it together?
How adorable. He gives it to both of you.
We hold one wing each.
Just like hold.
2 large green men.
It's like fidgeting in your hand. It's pulling. It seems like in the same way that a bird would maybe try to fly out of your grasp. It seems like this bird is trying to do the same thing, but it seems like it has far more power behind it when it's trying to do that. It's like
We are the
trying
right
to.
people to do this.
It's trying to launch out of your hand, just trying to rocket off into the air, but it's being stopped. Seems like just holding it is enough to keep it still, though.
Okay.
So, Core, you're opening the letter. Is there anything you're trying to do? Now, as you look at the packaging, it is as follows. You've got a sort of rugged envelope, which looks like it's in sort of a green, sort of rough paper. And then on the outside, you've got a very very small sort of rope-like ribbon, almost, tied around it, kind of keeping it all together. It seems like it's very light, so there doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in it.
Okay.
But
Should I
as-
roll a sleight of hand check to try and open it without leaving like fingerprints or anything on it?
Yeah, it's actually a good idea. Awesome. Since you're handling with your fingernails.
I will use a luck point just because I've been wanting to use one.
Do it.
Great. Okay, that's better. That is a 15.
15. Okay. With that, I think you will be able to perform this entire operation without leaving any trace of your fingerprints very effectively. And then, so long as Avros can mend it effectively as well, you should be able to, in tandem, the two of you, be able to keep it all under wraps. Both literally and figuratively speaking. Now, I'm gonna, low-key, I wasn't expecting you guys to actually catch this pigeon. But there's gonna be some wild,
You
you're gonna get some
underestimate
wild
us.
stuff.
You
Now,
underestimate that.
without having checked really anything about this
You didn't
letter,
think I was going to teleport into the sky to catch the bird with my bare hands? Who do you think we are?
I did not expect you to, but this will be interesting for all of us. In a crazy sort of weird sort of way. But you know what? Hey, this is what I love about D&D. You just never know how wild it's going to get, what you guys are going to come up with. But as you open it, how are you opening it? You're untying the ribbon first, tearing off the letter.
He's just very delicately picking it apart.
Alright, you're picking it apart. Untying it, putting it all out. As you tear a hole into it, I'm guessing you open it, or are you tipping it out? How are you taking the letter out?
I'm shaking it.
Shake it. You shake it. Alright.
Shake,
And
shake.
before anything, you see a stone fall out of the envelope before the letter itself starts to emerge. It falls to the ground. It's a familiar looking stone that you've seen before. It is very geometric, very nice, shimmers in the moonlight in a very crimson way. This is the D8 shaped stone that you saw Captain Stronghand take at one point earlier.
Into Baron's hat, I say.
As it falls in front of you, you see it turn around on the ground and point into a direction. Seems like it's pointing north. Hard to say, but could also be pointing south. It's pointing on both ends.
Is there like any indication of which end? Like, is there like a glow? Is there
Of which end is like the pointer end and which end is the reverse end? Nope. It is perfectly symmetrical.
Can I? Oh no, I don't have the D4. I can't heave up the D4. Never mind. I was going to say if we could compare it with the D4, we might be able to start to see a pattern.
That's an
I have
idea.
that.
Oh, okay.
It is inside of you, the D4.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
But I have a D6,
Can I-
or do I have a D...
You have half a
the
D6.
D6?
Okay, could I try something different? Can I look at the scrolls of paper which had the sort of the illustrations of the different pieces on it and see if there was any like right way up it was drawn? Like what would indicate the top versus the bottom?
Sure. If you look through the scroll that you have that has just these three stones drawn on it, I guess the one thing you would see is that the way it's drawn, if you're looking at it just like as a piece of paper, there is one pyramid pointing up and one pyramid pointing down. There doesn't seem to be any indication on the drawing which way is which.
Are there numbers on the side?
There are no numbers. It is perfectly smooth all around.
Never mind. I'm
Which
stumped.
is partially strange given that, or not maybe partially strange, this matches the D4 as well. The D4 that you've picked up, which has a geometric name that I don't remember. It's one of the platonic solids, but I'm just calling it a D4 because I'm dumb himbo energy a little bit. But the two that you have, the D4 and the D8 now, in addition to the D6, there is something that the D4 and the D8 have in common, and that's that they have both these very intricate sort of crystal-like gem kind of shapes inside of them moving around. It's like a sort of mist almost that fills the inside. It's like it's constantly moving. It's like it's alive. It's like a live magical item. Whereas the D6 that Core has, or rather the half of the D6 that Core does have, is as if something like that was turned to stone. It is like a rough sort of rock that's missing its other half. But it is just as hard and just as firm as the other two gems, just like a gem would be. Much more so than a rock would be. And the conclusions that you could draw from this are, it's up to you to investigate. But it is back in your possession, and it seems to point around. I think you did get information regarding the stones in a book before, so I can pull that up should you choose to recall that memory. Because I'm also forgetting exactly what it said there.
I have it on hand.
You have it? Okay.
Created by Agma, goddess of knowledge, direct those who find it to the artifacts of whereabouts unknown.
It's ours
Yeah.
now.
So that's the information that you would have about it. It is
Let's see.
generally depicted. It's been depicted on the scroll that you found, Jade, and in the book that Lady Valentine was reading, that had some information about these ancient stones. It was also drawn in the same sort of way, with a point pointing up and a point pointing down. Whether that's indicative of any sort of function of the stone itself, or whether it's an aesthetic sort of purpose, seems to be unclear.
Oh,
But-
I have a test that we
Yeah.
could do. So we have 2 stones in possession.
Mhm.
If we put, so they point in the it points in the direction of the nearest artifact outside of a 30-foot range. So if we have Jade walk in a circle, we can figure out which one is the
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Alright, as soon as you walk about 30
Let's
feet away, the rock that I'm guessing Verdridi is holding now,
Mm-hmm.
in the palm
like
of your hand.
like a downing rod in her hand or something.
Okay, then I will have put down Core so that Core can continue inspecting the letter, and
Of course,
we
got
can
the letter.
we
Alright.
can.
As
look
you
at
guys do this,
the-
I will give Core the information in the letter. So that's how we'll split the party. Hello, we're splitting the party while the party is together. How's it going? Core, you pull out the letter, and we will get to the letter in just a moment. As you, Jade, walk about 30 feet away, just over 30 feet away,
Measured circle.
the stone in your hand, Verdridi, immediately changes the way it's pointing, and points towards Jade.
Mhm.
Now, the end that's pointing towards Jade, as Jade decides to walk around in a sort of circular pattern, it does follow Jade very closely, pointing directly at Jade's torso. There isn't anything noteworthy about the end that's pointing towards Jade, but you do see which end it is that's pointing towards Jade. Now, so, is there anything you'd like to do with that knowledge? There isn't anything unique about it unless you choose to make it so in some way.
Okay, I have a really interesting idea.
hmm
I'd like to do something a little bit weird.
I like it. Weird.
I don't know what it is. I love it.
I'd like to use Druidcraft to make a very finely woven like vine cage for
Ooh, okay.
the D6, or not D6, the D8.
Mhm.
And I would like to tether that to my bracer
Okay.
so that it basically it's like a little like phone charm basically kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So there's gonna be like
It
a
will,
case of like the end that doesn't point towards something is the end that's tethered, and the end that does point is free to point.
Kind of.
Mhm.
Oh wait, hang on. I'm just gonna take off my necklace and kind of give an example using that.
Okay.
So it's like this.
Okay. Ooh, alright. As long as you have
So-
some way of discerning which side it is that's the one that's pointing towards the correct direction.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I assume that it will like kind of move in reaction to basically pinging on an object.
Mhm.
So if basically it starts moving, she'll just kind of like hold it up like that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm gonna say that with that sort of contraption, you'd be able to tell which way it's facing and use that then to your advantage in whatever way you choose to in, I guess, finding stones, because now you know how it works and what it does. So, you've crafted a fine cage, a fine dice jail for this die.
A dice jail.
And with that, you've got one more of the stones. Way in a very look. There were many ways I could have guessed that you guys were going to come across this stone, but you guys came across it in this session of all sessions. Now, Core, are you there? Because if you are,
I am here. I am just having tea, which is why my camera is off.
okay. In that case, while you're having tea, you are opening up this letter in the most fine and precise way to get the information out. And leaving your fingerprints on your fingers. No printing allowed, right? The toner is needing to be replaced. We are not printing.
technically, you'd be able to tell it's Core's fingerprints because he's all shifty.
True. But I guess you're avoiding... Unless you're purposely trying to put fingerprints on there. Which is an idea.
He's trying not to get anything on there.
Yeah, just if you're trying to make it look like it's not... if you're trying to make it look like it hasn't been tampered with, then you're effective with your previous rolls in doing that. And... the message you would read goes as follows. Let me just find it because this is in a very different page in my notes now. Look at all these pages. Look how many we've got for this campaign
Oh,
now.
it's not me.
So let me just flip back really quickly.
Our reactions are exactly the same. Oh,
Look, I've even got like little sticky notes on the side. Isn't that cute? They're like yellow and green. Oh, it all matches. Okay.
Fast, fast.
if I put my cam off, Will we have a purple, green, purple?
Ooh,
Well.
cute.
Yes.
So,
Satisfied.
you read the letter. Let me just make sure I'm not reading the wrong letter, because there are many notes here.
Why don't you just repeat all the letters, Thomas?
All the letters. I'm not going to comment on that at the risk of spoiling anything, but you would get... This is a really short one. It's only got like a sentence on it. Dear Lady Valentine, I've found Medusa. I am in trouble. Signed, Captain Stronghand. And that's all the letter reads. Doesn't make any mention of the gemstone in it.
Sounds unfortunate for him.
Yep.
Now, there are a couple things to note that, Cora, you would figure out just by reading this, right? That you would get from your high intellect. And that is twofold. One, this letter, this pigeon, was coming from the direction of the city, which it's hard to say exactly where that letter may have come from, but that is a sort of suspect sort of scenario. The only places of any notoriety, noteworthiness in the nearby vicinity is the city. Everything else is quite a bit further away. You could guess that maybe where your foster mom would live, or any sort of small villages like that, are possible destinations where this could have come from. Maybe it came from a lot further away. It's hard to say, but there's nothing else.
Foster mom's Medusa. Whoopsie.
Dude, that'd be kind of badass, not gonna lie. Can you...
It's suit
I've
core
been reading
somehow.
Yeah. Well, unless your foster mum was hiding that from you, it wasn't necessarily apparent that your mum was Medusa, but I feel like you would have, if that was the case, that would have been something that you might have caught onto, maybe.
Picked up on.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been, I guess that wouldn't have been very easy to hide, the snakes in the hair. It's a look. But the only nearby noteworthy place that this pigeon could have come from, if it hadn't have traveled from much further away, now, how you decide to determine that, if you choose to do so, is going to be up to you guys, but the city of Taurus seems to be the only place, it seems like a reasonable place where this pigeon could have been sent from. Potentially. It's a bit weird why Captain Stronghand would even be there, but you do know that there is a teleportation circle in that city, which may explain why he could be there at all. The stranger part to this mystery is that Captain Stronghand, if it was him that sent it, and this does seem to match his writing from what you've seen when you were at the bandit camp when you met him initially, having a look at his writing.
Buff and burly writing.
This does seem to match that. Now, the weird part about this is, why would he be sending this to Lady Valentine of all people, here in the Feywild, in the vague direction of the village? Now, you would be able to tell just from where you caught the pigeon that it wasn't heading directly towards the village. It was heading, maybe, it's hard to say, a little bit east of that, if anywhere. So maybe more so in the direction of where the windmill would be, if anywhere, if you had to pick a place on the map. But just watching the pigeon fly, it's hard to say whether or not that would have been the actual destination. And it was going pretty fast, so it may have been flying over for all you know. But those are the reasonable conclusions that you could come to, as far as anything like that is concerned. That is the information that you would have garnered from reading this letter. Now, are you putting it back? What are you doing?
Opinions. Please share them now.
We should put the letter back if Lady Valentine, I suppose, should have a chance to save Captain Stronghand.
One opinion. Anyone else?
What is he in
We
danger of?
Grab it first and then put it back. So we always have a copy. And then let them do their thing, I suppose.
Might be worthwhile keeping a copy for ourselves. Maybe if we find Captain Stronghand, we can ask him about it.
It's one sentence. You could just transcribe it in your mind.
It's also true. I'm not necessarily very good at remembering it word for word, but I guess the intent and emotion of the letter does stick with me. Avros looks at Tamar with disappointment. I couldn't remember it.
Okay,
Virginia, if you could copy that, might be a good idea too.
Yeah. She'll just copy it down. Just the text. Yeah.
Alright, easy.
Now let's let the... Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I was just going to say we can let the bird go on this way with the letter, minus the stone.
What do you want to do, Cole?
My only contribution was going to be if Captain Stronghand is in the city, And Medusa is in the city, and Medusa wants to kill Tamar. Maybe we should just circumnavigate.
I agree. We go straight to your foster mother.
Sounds like a
It's a
plan.
smart idea.
If it seems like they're there, then it might be a smart idea to avoid them. I don't necessarily know if I want to run into Medusa of all people.
You don't necessarily want to die, so.
Core,
Yes,
how
we should-
secure is your foster mother's house?
Well, it's in the middle of nowhere, so that's quite secure in itself.
Do you
She
think
could do
we could
some
use
magics,
it?
but
What do you say we use it as a safe house? So that we could go and investigate the city without putting Tamara at risk.
It's true. Do that. I'm happy to
Yeah.
sit there.
you
I
have
was all of
Dario,
you.
with my
That
mum.
might be a good idea if we
No.
could use a base like that.
Avros, are you in danger of Medusa and
Hi, let's be real. I think Medusa is in
No.
danger of me.
I
He's
strongly
only in
Strongly
danger of himself.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Dariel first and back to the city. And if Medusa's there, Dariel can give us information. Perhaps. As well.
Sounds like a wise idea. Don't underestimate my prowess. I was arrested, you know.
Yes, for littering.
Literally.
Well, what can I say? It was a crime of passion. But regardless, those things are behind us now. Shall we go?
Crime. That's really freaking good.
So just to, we put the letter back, we put the everything fixed back, we put the bird back, we let the bird go. Is that what's
Well,
That's
How-
the plan.
Core already rolled for putting the letter back together. I'm just going to get Avros to cast Mending on the letter, which he will do as you put it back together and have all the components there in your hand. Core, Avros looks at you, looks at the letter, twiddles his fingers, and the letter begins to mend itself in a very magical, very regal sort of fashion. Now getting a glance at his mending magics for the first time in who knows how long. You don't even remember the last time you saw him mend something. Avros isn't necessarily the type to do that sort of thing. It's an interesting spectacle to witness his magic. Now you, as a magic user, can see from his charade that he does have the moves. He has the schmoves to make it look like he knows what he's doing. But his magic is very amateur, and it takes him just a moment to piece together the letter. It seems like out of all of you, you could gain some knowledge about his prowess in the world. It seems like he could do with a little bit more expertise and a little bit more guidance in that sort of field. Doesn't look like he has a whole lot of magic past what he seems like he is capable of.
Avros
He's like a
is
stage magician.
In a way, yeah.
so cute.
But he makes it look like he's mending the hearts of the many fans out there. I don't know what that line was. Let's just...
Many Avros fans.
Avros fans.
Anyway, as you
I
venture
stan Avros.
forth...
Team Avros.
I actually
Uh-huh.
do. He is really quite fun.
Chaos. Absolute chaos. You all walk forth. Sapphire Man is there with you still. He's walking with you. He's just eyeing the surroundings, looking at Jade in a sort of seeking approval sort of way. He's doing all sorts of funny stuff. Say
You
again.
can go faster.
How so? What do you
Horse
suggest we do,
speed.
Core?
Well, I can turn into a horse.
I can as
Judy
well.
can turn into a horse. We have a horse, and Jade's really fast.
It's true, we could do that.
Baron can summon some horses.
Can he
Or
summon
those
horses?
who cannot become horses can
He can certainly...
ride horses.
True, true. I guess Baron can certainly summon something that'll help you on the trek, we'll say. Tamar looks over at you, Core, as you say this, with the horse still tied up. What should I do with this?
Who would be able to ride that horse?
I think I can...
Probably.
You.
Sorry, I just stopped because Virginie said something. Virginie, what did you say?
Oh, she said probably Jade.
I was gonna say,
I can ride this horse if necessary.
I think I wouldn't be the right person to ride this horse.
Yeah.
In that case, Jade, here you go. And he hands you a bundle of horse.
I
You
put it
now-
on the floor like a normal person.
You put it
would
on the
handle a
floor.
horse.
It is tied up currently. Would you like to untie this boy?
Yes, I will.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no, the horse caused Emma to crash.
Emma's computer's not having a good day.
It is having some sort of day.
Some sort of way.
Feeling some sort of way on this some sort of day. Shall we maybe use this opportunity to take a quick break, get a tea refill, go to the toilet, and come back when
Alrighty.
Emma's computer
Ye-
has returned back to the material plane?
Yeah, I've just been like every time I go off the cam, I'm just having a nom on some nuts and some seeds.
That sounds nice. Okay,
And
I'll
some-
put us on BRB. Boom, boom. We have audio back. Hello. Let me just switch over to cameras. Hello, how you going? Welcome, all, to the amazing adventures and shenanigans of the Shiny Boys in session 32. So, you're all heading over. You've got the mending done. Pigeon's on its way. Are you letting it go? Are you reattaching it and all that sort of stuff, giving the letter back and just letting it go its way?
Let it be free.
Alright. As you give the letter back to the pigeon, reattach it to its feet, its little talons, as soon as you're ready to let the pigeon go, it'll fly off into the sky, into the horizon, in the direction it was heading before it was tackled to the ground by Core's shirt. And we return back to the field. It is daytime around now. It's maybe about midday. And you've got a little bit more walking ahead of you. If you would like, you can continue to just walk on ahead if there's nothing you'd like to do in the meantime. And we can just do encounters as they come.
Horsey.
Do we want to...
Oh, right, the horse. So, Jade, everybody's going to turn to horses and all that sort of stuff. Jade, how are you dealing with the tangled horse or the tied horse? Are you
I am going to untie the horse. I think I've watched Core's Shibari practice enough now that I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to... Yeah, he knows... I know how to get him out of things if necessary. So therefore...
It looks pretty startled, and it's starting to look around as you're untying it. Is there anything you're going to try to do after you untie it?
Hang on, let me just... My character sheet's disappeared. I want to try, I think, an animal handling check.
Can I
just to
give advantage?
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, I want to... Yeah, I would like to, with Druti's help, try and tame this horse. I saw a TikTok where somebody was like jumping to kind of, like get the horse to like feel comfortable around them, and then when the horse started approaching, they stopped. I want to maybe Druti and I can try that. I don't know if that's a real thing. But
sure,
you can actually intelligent animals.
You can certainly try if you're both getting involved in this act of animal charming. You can roll with advantage.
Yay!
It's also been worn down a lot by being tied up for so long.
One is a 6, and the other is a 9. Nice. It's 12.
Oh, yeah.
12. It looks like it doesn't really know how it wants to feel about you, having been tied up until this point. Although it seems like it hasn't interacted with you much until this point. It's just kind of looking at you like a curiosity, and it's really deciding inside of itself, it looks like, whether or not it's going to attempt to run away. It seems like it's just on the boundary of maybe possibly staying with you, but it might need a little bit more coercing.
Can I try something?
What would you like to try?
It was tied up by this rope before, right? So I want to just like make a point of wrapping it and tying it around my arm and securing it to myself, and just kind of be like, yeah, sure. I'll have Core Shibari my arm and like make sure the horse can be like, see, like, hey, look, no, I like this rope. Don't worry, we're the same pals.
Good stuff.
Okay, it looks at you.
I don't know if this works.
It looks at the rope on your arm and like sniffs it a bit with its huge nostrils as it sniffs. And it looks at you with sort of a puzzled gaze, but it doesn't seem to run away. It's looking at you with a sort of like, I guess you're not dangerous kind of look, but I don't understand why you're tying yourself up kind of look.
Are you dumb?
It is a horse.
Bitch, are you dumb? Yeah.
But it looks like for the most part it's staying still right now. Right now it seems like it is in prime condition to be tamed a little bit. So
I would like to give it a pat.
You give it a pat.
If it lets me.
As you go to pet, it kind of pulls away just a little bit for a moment. But if you leave your hand there, it kind of goes back and sniffs it as well. And it seems like it's inspecting you a little bit. Sniffs your kind of aura for a bit.
Cool.
And give it another try. If you do again, if you give it another pat, it'll let you this time, I think. And it looks like, for the most part, it seems okay with your general presence. It's looking at Baron every now and then
General
with a
presence.
suspicion in its eyes
Yeah,
and a sort of
colleague of-
distrust innate.
He's a colleague of General Strength Check.
But I think with that, you've got yourself a steed for now.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking cool one at that. It's got flames for eyes. It's got flames on its hooves. It's dark and it's black fur and it's got
What I've-
green
It's
flames.
my pony, I see.
It's my pony, see?
What I've noticed about Jade is that
His name is
From-
Dendro.
oh my goodness,
His name is
From-
Moonlight Shadow. This is my OC. I spent a long time creating him. He has a dark past, okay?
Mhm.
He was tied
I
up
was
by
gonna say,
strangers for 3 days.
that's
And
pretty
he
dark.
liked it.
That's even darker. No, Jade's all of the aesthetics that have approached Jade so far in the clothes that he can buy, the NPCs he has like befriended, none of them go together. So he's like an earthy nature boy in like adventuring like modern-esque gear, riding a flaming horse. It's not as fun. It's fine.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Not only is it flaming, it's otherworldly too. Oh, shebang, dude.
You have a demon horse.
Potentially, yeah. It's the best way to describe it. So, how are your horse forms looking? Everybody who's transforming, hit me up. What do your forms look like?
No, there's a specific horse I know Core can transform into. I'm gonna find it. Judy, go first.
Actually, I think I might have something saved on Druidy's pin board
Ooh.
for wild shapes.
Mhm.
Akalteke. That's it. It's a real horse.
Mhm.
I need to just show you this horse.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, a
Majestic.
majestic horse.
Heck yeah.
They
Okay.
like shine like metallic. Look at these horses.
Shiny. Oh, nice. I can imagine Core's one of these.
Shiny.
Alright,
Also-
Core looking fab. You transform into horse form.
Or, Thomas, would you prefer in the regular Shiny Boys Messenger chat?
Oh, you can do it in
You can-
Discord if that works, because I've got it differently set up now, so now I can do it. I can do the thing.
Discord. Oh, pretty.
Ooh! Oh, this is such a Feywild horse. I love it. Oh my god, we've got Core's
Wow.
Shiny Boy and Rodrides naturey, very dryad horse as well. We're looking fab. And our flaming, my god, we are looking like one heck of a team right now.
I will keep my flaming horse away from Driti's like plant
Oh.
tech issues abound. I
Oh.
can't believe my computer's done the thing 3 times. This is-
Just a
Not
little
so.
bit cursed.
Hmm,
But otherwise, we're vibing.
a vibe. Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
A vibe.
So we're gonna have to decide who's writing who.
I did a little bit of
Oh.
some checking. So I don't know how many hours Core can be transformed yet.
Yep.
Druidy can go for 3. If Baron summons horses, he can summon up to. I actually think he can summon 8 horses in one go, except for they only last an hour.
Oh, okay, is it like time based?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Something very strange just happened to my Discord. Everyone just started like short circuiting. I was like, oh,
Oh no.
my
I've
turn.
been revealed. I've been a robot this whole time. Beep beep.
Beep bitty beep bitty beep.
Wait, so 8 horses? Can Baron really summon that many?
He can summon 8 horses, I believe. I think it's because since they're 1/4 CR, you can summon up to 8 creatures of that.
Oh, okay.
But it's only for an hour, is the thing.
Oh, okay.
How
With
long
concentration.
have you transformed for?
Druidy can go for 3 hours since she's all druid.
I have combat wild shape. That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
Ooh, what's that?
Moon druid.
I can transform.
Use wild shape as a bonus action. Use bonus action to expend
Oh,
one
right,
spell
right.
slot to regain 1d8 HP per level of spell slot.
That's cool.
I can only stay for 1 hour, so actually I might retcon and just ride one of Baron's horses until necessary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Drudy and I should both do that. And then
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're conserving spell slots, you haven't yet run across anything hostile, but there is still a bit of a way till you get to the city and till you get to your foster mom's place. So there's a little bit of time still. There is plenty of opportunity for me to use, for me to look up at the conditions on my board when they come with battle.
Yeah.
just in morning, because Brian can stay in beast shape for 18 hours or something.
Oh boy.
And I'm like,
Level 14.
yeah, he's very powerful.
Speaking of, actually, you guys are close to leveling now. You're not too far away. So within, it was coming up soon. It's not within maybe 2 encounters of some of unknown description. Within 2 criteria, you'll probably end up leveling. So just keep your eyes out. Baron might not.
Let's whack some trees.
Whack some trees. Okay, I decide to. I want to whack 5 trees. Okay, that's fulfill the criteria. You level.
Which has more infighting.
Okay, so
Yeah, Drudy's good wild type horse. Since it would take a spell slot and
yeah, if you're trying to avoid that for now, Baron could use one of his and summon 8 horses for 1 hour if you'd like to travel on horseback for 1 hour at 4 times the speed if you're dashing on them.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
So we can do that. Everybody can ride one of Baron's
Off we
horses.
go.
You
Yeah.
all rocket forward. Jade, you on your new steed. Pretty darn fast. You actually get a little bit of a boost now that you're actually riding. You notice yourself flying ahead of the pack little by little. And you very quickly realize that your horse is a little bit more movement speed than a normal horse, which has not come up at all until this point because it's been tied up the whole time. But whereas the other horses move up to 60 feet, just in their normal sort of prancing speed, you can move 80 feet for every 60 feet that they move.
Oh, that's a lot.
So, flames, they're there because that's fast. Flames in the distance.
Well, I want to match the speed of my pals.
Alright, you...
As cool as that is, so when I see it, I'm just like, whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Can't do horse sound effects. It
Thank you,
makes a
horse.
whinny. And
Thank you.
I'm gonna get you to roll... all of you, actually. Animal handling checks to see how you ride it. I'll roll for...
is a horse.
Never ridden a horse before. And this is not amazing.
Avros is a natural horse rider. He rolled a nat 20 on his
He's a
animal
natural
handling.
rider. Oh, Core's pretty good too, 18.
Yeah, I rolled 14. Makes sense. First time.
Jesus Christ, Tamar doesn't know how to ride a horse.
Best time rider.
hmm
Understandable.
So, Avros... Oh, Virginia, how did you roll?
Drudy is a horse.
Oh, you are a horse.
Oh, you
You are just... You are just prancing. You are running. You are galloping, gallivanting all the way through.
Any of our NPCs or players who seem like they're having a little bit of struggle, can she kind of just like, you know how horses will kind of like check each other
Yeah.
when like running in a pack?
Tamar collapses on Drudy.
So, here's how it looks. Okay, so Sapphire Man would have to... Would you let anybody ride you, or would you be averse to that idea?
Drudy won't let anybody except for Baron.
So how is Sapphire Man move? He can be with Jade.
Yeah, you guys can ride the same horse if you'd like.
Yeah, usually they can take 2 passengers.
Fixes the problem.
Okay, so you're wait, did you say you're taking anybody aside from Baron?
Yep, anybody
Oh,
aside from
Yeah, I
I'm sorry,
misinterpreted.
I
I thought you meant only Baron. I
yeah.
thought like you were gonna give him
No.
the worst ride
No.
of his life.
Ooh.
Okay, okay.
That's kind of funny though.
That would be kind of funny. I would... Oh my god.
Buck him off.
Sorry, Baron.
Soz Baron. But okay, the way it looks, you guys are looking pretty great. You look like you have a little bit of prowess when it comes to horse riding. Rodrida, you're looking graceful as a horse. Just you're schmoovin'. Everybody else, you guys are grooving. You guys are having a good time, right? You have done this at least a few times before. Jade, you're a surprising natural. Whether you've ridden a horse before is hard to say, but you've definitely, with your prowess, you've definitely
14.
read about horse riding.
14.
14? Yeah, you're looking a little bit more rickety, a little bit more
Yeah, that
rockety,
makes sense.
a little bit, just a little bit rougher around the edges. But you're doing surprisingly well for somebody who's
No,
never ridden
I
a horse
imagine
before.
Jade has a very stiff seat, so he's just being bumped up and down, very stiff the entire time.
Avros, on the other hand,
That's
Avros,
Same base.
as you look at the NPCs, Sapphire Man is with Jade on the same horse. He's just holding on to you as well. Two of you are riding. He seems to trust you most of all, so he's putting his life in your hands.
No, he's mimicking Jade's terrible seat.
He's also upright, stiff, taking it in, looking
I
at
got
all
the
the riders. As you look, Avros gallops to the front of the pack.
Uh-huh.
With a nat 20, he is flowing like water off this horse's back, dude. He has done this maybe more times than you would expect. He's a man with free time, and maybe he's used some of that free time to invest it into horse riding. He looks like he's done this before. He's more comfortable on the horse than he is walking on the ground. He looks like he's having a great time just galloping ahead. Tamar, his horse looks like he's struggling with the weight a little bit. It's uncomfortable. He's bearing a large load. He's a big guy. A lot of air resistance on Tamar. Just a shield of muscle and just a little bit of a dad bod there as well. He looks like he has never ridden a horse, and he looks like he might be a little bit afraid of his horse too. He is trying to stay on. He is scooting off the side a little bit. He's sitting a bit too far forward on his horse. You notice as he is almost on the neck of the horse. The horse is not having a great time. It is just barely managing to keep afloat in a way. But he's barely hanging on. This is probably his first time. He looks a bit scared, but you guys are making it work, and you are galloping all the way through. As you make your way through the plains, you are taking a look around. You are taking in the serene surroundings of the Feywild. Once more, the fresh breeze, the flowery scent, the petals in the air, just fluttering around. Oh no. Cord disappears, teleports away from the rest of the...
There's like a wave of cherry blossom, and Core is just subsumed.
Oh, you're back again.
The cherry blossoms part.
The cherry blossoms part, revealing Core in their wake. As we go up through, we're gonna wait for our two little... Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Some Discord technical issues.
I feel like this is what I used to be having with Discord, on my laptop.
I remember that. I remember we were having some serious issues before. Well, as you're galloping, could I get you, Emma,
Yes.
to roll for me a d12 just as we go?
A d12.
Oh, you're back!
Let's go, buddy.
Okay. As you gallop,
8.
you get an 8 on the die. Alright.
I think that's the bad.
I'm not telling you what the bad numbers are. They change every time.
I think that's
do
what I
they
rolled
know?
for Spirit Nagas, so...
The number rolls on my end change every time you roll a number. So they're quote unquote random every time. But with that 8, you gallop through, nothing much occurs. Seems like there isn't anything interesting. Nothing in the distance. For the most part, you're just making your way through the day galloping on these horses. As you make your way through, you go as far as you can. They save quite a lot of time. You manage to cut quite a lot of time off of the distance for the rest of this day. And as you continue making your way after the horses have been... How are you recasting them? How's everything going? Once the effects of the spells wear off.
I think
Baron into recasting.
Baron can cast it 3 times, in which case Drudy can just hold the wild shape that whole time.
Okay. In that case, he'll cast it, and you guys will make a lot of ground up with not a lot left to go. And you continue on. Nothing much happens. You are roaming through fields. You're looking around. Still no sight of the city of Tor in the distance yet. It is a big, massive tree, so it should pop up sometime soon. You are expecting, and you are heading in that direction. For anybody looking at the D8 in Verdridi's dice jail, it is pointing in the direction of the city. So long as you're all within 30 feet of each other, it won't point to any of your gemstones. But on the occasion that either Jade or Core diverge more than 30 feet away from Verdridi, you would notice that it does point to Core's half D6 and towards Jade's D4 as well, as soon as they're far enough away. And if they're both far away and equally distant, then it'll kind of flicker between the two, it seems like. But as long as you guys are close together, it will point pretty precisely towards the city. You make your way through for another few hours. And it is approaching now afternoon time. You've still got a few hours left in the day. Are you still heading through? Is there anything you're doing on the way? No, it doesn't seem like there's any big landmarks on any side. It seems like you're just going through plains at the moment, with trees here and there, sparsely located. Not a whole lot of life going on either. Seems like it's just pretty peaceful. But there'll come a point where Baron spell runs out again. Fadri, Core.
Does he have a level 4 spell slot?
I am pretty sure that he does. I will put up Baron's character sheet actually, so I can see how much he has left.
We're just bullying Baron, like, make horses. Do it.
The most useful
What's
Baron's
up,
ever
Baron?
been.
Yeah, no.
Let's see.
Nah, Baron is the best comic relief we could have asked for.
He can do it once at 4th level.
This is true.
And
This is
then
true.
Drury
Cast
will
one
become
more
a
hour.
horse second time for second wild shape.
All
I'm
right.
saving my wild shape, just in case I need it.
You will cover another amount of ground. You keep roaming, and it doesn't seem like much more happens or occurs to you on this trek. You are chilling, and it is growing closer to nighttime once again. It is approaching that time where you will need to find a place to rest. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of safe places around here. Everything is pretty open. But there does come a point, close to the time when your spell would end, or Baron's spell, and Baron's not here, I said you as I looked to a space where Baron would be, but it is currently not. As the spells would come to an end, there would be a few clusters of trees here and there, patches of them as you go. Any of these would be suitable if you'd like to be a little bit further away from any sort of attention, should you choose to hide yourselves when you go for a night's sleep. Otherwise, it's your choice how you decide to go for that sort of thing. The rest of the day, as you traverse across this plain, would pass without much of any suspicious activity as far as you're looking. How would you like to go about organizing your night's sleep?
I will take a watch.
Taking a watch?
I'll take a watch.
I'll take a watch, and I'll also set up my Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, so
Okay.
that, again, that's I touch a point in space, create an invisible 30-foot sphere that grants a +5 bonus to stealth and perception checks while in it, and light from open flames inside of that space can't be seen from outside of it.
Ooh,
That's very cool.
that sounds
And it
pretty cool.
lasts for the entirety of our long rest.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna prepare new spells during the long rest, I think.
Yep, so if anybody would like to
Oh yeah, I think I might too, you know.
go for it. You are going to be within a day's travel, walking pace, of the actual city itself. So if you do decide to ride horses or anything like that, you will reach it quite a lot quicker. It will only take you half a day at your speed if you go via horse. So if
Okay.
you wake up the next day, then it'll take about half a day to get there. But we'll get to that in just a moment. As you come to your sleep, it's time for a long rest. We'll get some watches going. So we'll do Jade, we'll do Rodri, and if nobody else wants to go for a watch, we can say, after looking around in the party, that Sapphire Man, looking to Jade in awe and inspiration, asks, "Should I go for a night watch?"
Would you like to sit next to me and help?
I think I would like that.
Then let's sit together.
He sits with you on your night watch. Rodridi, as you go on yours, or well, when you're suggesting going on yours, Tamar pipes up, and it seems that he'd like to go with you as well, just to make sure that there's company there. I think if we're gonna have more eyes, it might be better. And he
Sounds good.
pops himself beside you. Then Avros looks at Core. Core, we should maybe possibly get up a little bit earlier just to see, check our surroundings. Avros says, uncharacteristically, not much of a fan of waking up himself. For whatever reason, he seems to be wanting to get up early this time. That strikes you as a bit
Insight
odd.
check him.
Insight check him.
I think I have a +5, but let me double check. Sorry, I don't have my printed out sheet for some reason. So.
Solchi. Soul. All gluten, no gluten.
Ooh, it is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright, you're insight checking him. He looks like he is... From the last night watch that you had, or from the last sleep that you had, it seems like he's not very comfortable sleeping on the ground here, and that's kind of bothering him, so he doesn't really mind necessarily getting up if it means that he doesn't have to be lying down on the ground so much. longer than he has to. Past that, he seems like he's earnest in his desire to get up, though. I just figured it might be safer for us to, get up and survey the landscape in case we get accosted early in the morning.
You and me. Okay. I will concede.
Sounds like a plan.
If you let me sleep on you, because you're very comfortable.
Okay, but you must repay the favor to me in the near future.
Korn looks at his tiny body and is just like,
I know you are capable of transformations, my dear Core.
doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
My head isn't that sharp.
He looks at Avros's like 6 foot whatever height. He's like, you know what?
What if I just put my head in your
answer
lap?
for now.
Okay, fine. I'll concede for now. For now, you've won. But
For now, I am.
we'll discuss this at a later time.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, your
Course
night.
of action,
So, Jade and I was gonna say Avros man.
The new superhero.
Avros man. Jade and Sapphire man. Y'all are ready to roll for me. I hope. That was a weird way of wording that. Could you roll for me some perception checks at night if there's nothing else you'd like to do aside from perceiving your surroundings?
Do I get advantage from Sapphire Man, or am I just 1 me?
Yep, you can get advantage because there's 2 of you if you're just rolling.
Okay. I mean, I can't. I don't. You would be rolling for Sapphire Man, so I guess I'll roll both.
Yeah, you can roll both. You can just roll with advantage.
Okay. Well, that's 25.
It's pretty good. You're looking around, and you look into the distance, and as you do, you're checking the horizon for anything that seems out of the ordinary, anything peculiar, particular, strange even. Roll for me a d12.
Okay. It's a new number.
New number?
It's a 1.
Ooh. There is something that you see in the distance. However, it seems like it doesn't seem to see you. And it is another odd sight. You do spy with your little eye another spirit naga. In fact, you see 2 of them. Really far in the distance, and you can tell that this is what they are because
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
You'd been accosted by them before. They had
Mhm.
interacted with you in some form.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they seem to be unaware of your presence. They are quite far away. They are over 100 feet as far as you can tell. As far as exact distances are concerned, that's a little bit hard to ascertain. But it seems like for the most part they are just passing by parallel to where you're sitting or situated right now, not heading towards you. Which is kind of lucky considering your last endeavor with them. This might not be too odd to you, but for anybody else, you might know stuff about the Feywild. Naturally, Spirit Nagas being here in great populations is a strange thing to see in this part of the Feywild, or in any part really. Spirit Nagas generally don't pop up too much here. But that's what you see. Sapphire Man looks at those, he looks at you. He looks at you expectantly, with a sort of unsure gaze in his eyes, as if unsure how to react to the sight before you.
They are dangerous. If you see them in the wild, do not approach.
Understood. Are they dangerous right now?
I don't think so. A lot of things that are dangerous to us seem to just be reacting to our presence. It could be fear. If we don't disturb them, I don't see a reason why they would disturb us.
I understand. Are we dangerous to anyone?
We are,
That makes sense.
and we know it. So we have a duty to be cautious sometimes.
Understood. And he gazes out at them into the distance.
Don't eat meat, okay.
The monk vibes. As you're just chilling, straight up vibing, if there's nothing else you'd like to do,
Nope.
then the night pieces passfully.
Pieces passful.
I don't know how to English. But with that, nothing much else happens. We then move on to the next night watch. You go and get the others ready as Rodridi and Tamar, you all are up. Tamar wakes up.
I'm still here, I'm just gonna slouch.
Okay.
Slouching.
And he walks over to the edge of the crest of trees which guard you, I guess, from the outside world in some sort of way. And he looks to you and he looks out at the horizon. And since the two of you are looking, Verdridi, would you like to roll perception with advantage for me?
Yes. I rolled the first one. Okay, the first one is better.
Nice.
It's a 19.
19? Alright, you're looking out, checking out what's going on at night. You are keeping your eyes peeled. You're taking in the night sky. It is nice and peaceful, and very zen, and feels a lot more close to home than the night watches did in the material plane. There is something nice and serene and just peaceful about the environment in which you're situated now. Despite all the circumstances and despite what's going on, that fills you with at least some sort of comfort that things are, in some way at least, pretty nice here. And I want you to roll for me a d12 to see if that stays that way.
Let's see, which d12 will I roll today? This one. It's a different d12, still a 5.
5? Okay. As you gaze out into the horizon, maybe expecting to see a little bit of something strange, a little bit of something, just, a lot of things haven't gone too well, and you're kind of still on your feet, so to speak, as far as things have gone. You're looking around, Tamar's looking around, and for the most part, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You do see a few little critters, a few butterflies in the distance just flittering around, but nothing too crazy out of the ordinary seems to strike you as your night watch passes without a fret. Nothing crazy, nothing strange, no spirit nagas, unfortunately, on your watch. And with that, unless there's anything you'd like to do, Tamar kind of looks at you and looks around. He doesn't really say much. Seems like he has something on his mind, but he doesn't really say anything. But you do catch at least that much. Say again.
Oh, she just says, "What's up?"
Oh, you scared me. Nothing. Why? What's up with you?
You seem to be focused.
Nothing's up with me. What's up with you?
Yeah.
I seem to be
Focused on something.
Well, it is a night watch. We have to be looking out for any danger.
Yes, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. Well, curious. Can't get it out of my mind. That letter that we came across. That I don't think we were meant to come across.
No.
Is Medusa really here in the Feywild, of all places?
Signs point to yes.
It feels almost hard to believe. But I guess I've been trying to rack my brains about how that might be possible.
And you've never met her before. You do not know anything other than the mystery.
I've never met her before. I don't know personally anyone who has. I don't imagine that anybody anybody outside of her clique, outside of her goons, would have seen her in person. She doesn't really make appearances publicly as far as I know. Or at least she hasn't in a while. Not in the material plane at least, or not in capital. But her henchmen have far-reaching arms. Not literally. They're normal length arms, but they're all over the place.
Actual in-character laugh.
There's an out-of-character laugh. He doesn't laugh. That's just his quirk. But he looks at you, and he looks around. I want to know what the deal is here. If she really is here, then that's something I think we might have to be careful of in some way. Whether that's, I don't know what our brand of careful might be, whether that's an encounter of some sort, or whether we're going to avoid meeting her entirely. If she's even here at all. Just thinking about what to do.
We will keep you safe.
Thanks. I'll try to do the same for you. For you all. You mean a lot to me, and I won't necessarily admit this very often or very much in front of other people, but I feel like I can trust you, at least right now.
Good.
Opening up is not my strong suit. Being strong is my strong suit.
Yeah.
No, I trust you as well.
Thanks. I really think we should eviscerate her, though. at some point at least. I don't think it's good for her to be running around. And if what's true about her, what you say is true about her, what you all say is true, what Dariel says is true, then she's a menace that needs to be dealt with. I know we're not necessarily a righteous group of any kind like that, but I tend to think about that a lot.
Good to be.
Well, maybe. So we'll have to see. As long as it doesn't put us in any sort of danger that we can't be prepared for. But at the very least, if we go by the city, maybe we'll see what kind of state it's in. And that might clue us in a little bit. Maybe we can find this strong-handed fellow again.
See how long she's been here and what destruction has been caused.
I think so. Might be worth investigating. Anyway, I'm sorry for rambling. Thanks for indulging my thoughts.
I like talking with you. You're nice.
Thanks. I don't like talking, but I like you.
She just kind of pats him on the shoulder.
He accepts it. He kind of like grabs your hand for a moment and then sort of lets go. And he sort of nods and doesn't really elect to say any more than that.
Is Tamar aware that we're not going to the city?
He knows, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just been thinking about it.
I need to check a thing real quick. Because she's going to make him a flower. I just want to make sure I get the right one.
Oh! Cute.
Okay.
Cole's gonna see the flower and be like, excuse me.
Excusez-moi.
Where is my flower? Unfriended. The Baron says from the corner. He's been awake this whole time.
I think she'll make him a snowdrop.
That's one of my favourite flowers in real life.
Cute.
That's
Which
cute
is
as heck.
consolation and hope.
Oh!
Wow.
He doesn't notice that you make it at first. He's kind of looking away now. He's looking into the horizon. Do you get his attention in any way?
She just kind of holds it in front of him.
He's just looking around, and then he catches his gaze. Did you make this?
Yes. I make flowers. And she kind of gestures to her hair, which is just full of flowers.
Yes, I've noticed that. They're very pretty. This one especially so. It's very lovely. Thank you for showing it to me.
It's for you. You remind me of my siblings a bit.
Oh, this is for me. Thank you, Vidridi. I appreciate it. I'm not a very flowery kind of person, but it's a very nice gesture. I'll try to keep it safe. How do I take care of this? Do I have to water it every day? I'm not sure. I've never kept flowers.
Just keep it whatever you wish. It's just a sentiment. That is all.
What if I put it in my hair? Do you think I'll still look fierce and menacing with it in my hair?
Even more so.
Okay, in the hair it goes, and he puts it behind his ear.
Tamara and Sarazo would so vibe.
They would. I think they're in a similar-ish wavelength, actually.
Drudy, this is my ass-kicking flower.
My asking flower. He seems to lighten up a fair bit.
Your voice like surprised me.
He lines up a little bit. And he's looking a little bit better, and I think if there's something else you'd like to do. He looks at you with a gratitude in a way. A deep gratitude. And with that, your night which comes to an end. You go and wake the boys. The chaotic duo. The dynamic duo. Cor and Avros. Avros seems like he hasn't really slept very well. He just gets up. From my bed to this ground. is actually not quite as I shouldn't be yelling. It's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. The grass is actually pretty nice here. It wasn't so nice over there. But this grass there's a fluffier kind of quality to it. Core, what do you think? Am I going crazy? I think I might be going crazy. I think I'm seeing things. I've been here too long.
Well, seeing as I didn't sleep on the grass, I can't really have an opinion, can I?
Oh, yes. Where did you sleep?
He just pats Ambros's chest. Did you not even feel me?
No, I was too busy. Oh, that's true. My chest is a lot more comfortable than any bed, no matter the price. I'll have you know that. Even the golden frame bed that I have in my house is no comparison to my fluffy chest. Fluffy in the sense of comfort. It's not very hairy. I'm not a very hairy person, but I'm sure.
That's a great exposition.
Yes, I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I'm going insane. I'm really stirring a little bit. I haven't slept much at all. I've been thinking a lot about things.
Oh. About what?
Oh, just all sorts of things. Do you think that horse can talk? And he looks to the flaming horse that's also sleeping.
Did you want to talk to the horse?
I don't necessarily want to, but I think it's been talking to me in my dreams. It's been telling me something.
What?
It said, well, it was snoring to me, really. Well, I guess it wasn't really saying much. It sounded a lot like you. I mean, actually, never mind. You know what? Forget I said anything.
I don't snore. Let's just get that straight.
You don't snore? Then I am even more confused. I have a feeling if you did snore, this sounds like what you would have sounded like if you had snored. But now that you mention it, you've never been awake while you've been asleep. Until now. But even then, was I really awake? Or was I just stirring
Can
in
I
my
insight
dreams?
check Ambrose?
You can insight check him. You can insight check him.
Oh, it's really good. It's a 23.
23. He's taking the piss just a little bit. He seems like he's bored out of his mind and is trying to just stir something.
Bored in Core's presence. Use him.
Yeah, bored and Core. Actually, Core starts making flowers. He's seen the flower that Tamar has, and he's like, ugh. And he starts making flowers and just shoving them in Avros's mouth, like in the light.
I think Core. This is serious. Okay, I admit nothing much has been going on. I just can't sleep very well.
I'm making you romantic flowers. Do you not like them? He shoves another one in.
I do. I love them, dearest Core, but I don't love them in my mouth. I need that to function.
I don't think you do. He shoves another one.
And with that, I want you to roll a perception check for me with advantage, as Ambrose is also having a look.
I used the advantage because that was terrible. Okay, 15.
15. With a 15, you are gazing around at the horizon. Ambrose is looking around as well, recovering from the entire garden that had manifested in his mouth.
They're edible.
Oh, are they really?
No, they're not really.
Tastes very much like I thought a flower would taste. He has green tongue. And I want you to roll for me a d12 as you have a look around. In the early mornings of your adventure.
Hi.
Okay, let me just... the 5. Okay. With 5 on the dice, you do get a sight of the glorious, beautiful night sky that the Feywild is renowned for. You see the fields in the distance, you see the trees, you see all sorts of little critters in the distance occupying, populating the Feywild itself.
And the 50 spirit nog is coming away.
But there is another presence here that you do spy in the distance that suddenly catches your eye, and a little bit closer than it seems like it would be safe. It's a little bit concerning. Could you roll for me a d100, please, if you'd be so kind?
Do I have to? Okay. 52.
52 on the dice. Let's have a look. Okay, let me just search up a ref sheet for what on earth it is we're actually... How do you look at here?
I had enough conflict with my flower jealousy. Now you're throwing this at Core.
And I think
This is...
we've had Brian, who's a flower producing boy. We now have Driti, who's a flower producing boy, which means it's next my turn to make a flowery PC. So I will. I'm looking forward to that. I have an idea.
I need to explain really quickly. He's not jealous that Tamar got a flower. He's jealous that Driti gave him a flower because he's like, no.
Yeah, I understand.
Dree literally
He's not being
spent
cute at all. He's being incredibly petty.
Dree spent the other day just plaiting flowers into Cora's hair, though.
No, he's fine having flowers. He just doesn't like other people giving Tamar flowers.
Oh.
Fair.
My
like,
flower
no,
boy's
no
gonna
touch.
be a hair color changing Eladrin. His hair color changes with the seasons.
Which is get more
Ooh,
and more aesthetic.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Constant aesthetic.
Blonde,
Well.
and then it's auburn, and then it's like white, and then it's pink. I don't know what spring colors are.
They could be. Pink is in spring. I see all sorts of pink flowers in spring. And I like the color pink. Wait, do cherry blossom? They're pretty pink, right? And they're like very
Yeah.
springy.
They're very springy.
Okay, so
Guys, you gotta get. We need more campaigns. Quick! Somebody add more days to the week, please.
I was gonna say courses, but we might have to wait just a moment as we're looking out into the distance at whatever it is. Dude, more campaigns would be fun though.
Yes.
I've had ideas for like fun, random, like little campaigns, but I haven't like really gotten around to like planning anything. I thought it would be fun to like do a murder mystery campaign in like 1920s America or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
Like a noir
Oh
sort
my
of
gosh!
campaign.
I want to be like an homme fatale. I'll be like a you know, like a sexy man.
Hell yeah! It could be like a kind of like a whodunit kind of mystery sort of thing. I think that'd be fun, but
Like Clue.
yeah, like that, but in a D&D campaign.
Cluedo, excuse me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
corrected.
Clue, though.
Dough.
Cluedo.
Dough. Thomas. Dough.
Clue, dough.
That Cluedo.
That Cluedo.
What
I
I
like
was,
that.
what I was initially thinking of was the movie, not the the board game.
Oh, okay.
Do you know? Oh, we're on stream. Never mind.
Yeah.
Tim Curry.
No. I'll tell you guys later if I remember.
We can go on BRB because I don't know if Cora's here or not. So we'll go on BRB.
Sure.
I am
Mark
here.
it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I just came back.
Oh, okay, welcome back. I was going to tell you what you saw.
Yeah.
So, getting back into the events, there is something that you spy on the horizon,
No,
walking about,
no.
and initially you don't know what it is. But as you get a good look at it, you do realize that it's not your mind playing tricks on you. It's a tree, a big tree, pretty big. Might as well just a normal tree, or well, it might be a normal tree, but it's using its roots to walk around. It's just kind of passing you by. Looks like it's hard to say whether it's aware of your presence at all. Doesn't have a face from this perspective, but it's just kind of moving over, just walking by. Just got its roots, just passing you by. It's getting pretty close. It looks like it's gonna kind of, sort of, tangentially move past you.
Interesting.
But
Do I know what this is?
you can roll to find out of your
Okay.
choice of roll, and I'll tell you what you discover based on what roll you pick.
I'm gonna go with. Let me just check my skills. Okay, I'm gonna go with the nature check.
Nature check, cool.
I'm rolling pretty well today. It's a 19 plus 3,
Ooh.
so it's 22.
Okay, this is something that you would kind of recognize, and now it's coming more to you. It just took a while because this isn't sort of magic that we necessarily see very often, but you do see it sometimes. It appears to be an awakened tree, which is literally just a regular tree that's been given sentience and mobility by the awaken spell or any sort of similar magic like that. That's what you would garner. That's what you've come across today. And you know that it's a tree, so it's not probably going to hurt you out of nowhere. It's an unaligned sort of creature. That's as much as you'd be able to gain. Looks like a tree.
I just watched the tree pass and I'm like,
You watch the tree pass.
bye.
It walks. Where'd it get the magic from? Who knows? Avros looks at the tree. That's weird. Is that common here?
Is it common here?
It's not common, but it does
It's
happen.
hard to say. It's the Feywild. What is common? What isn't common? Kind of the uncommon is common. So
Okay. I've never seen a walking
we're all
tree
very
before.
strange here.
Yes. Yeah, I guess. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty true. Okay, anyway. I've never seen a walking tree before. So that's one for the books. What books? I don't know what books. I'm gonna write a book, and I'll put this tree in it.
You're gonna write a book.
I think I might write a book. The Life and Times.
Have you ever read a book in your life? Like an actual book, not a comic. Or
What?
a manga. I'm gonna cross that line.
Okay, books are definitely... Comic books are books. They're called comic books. Where do you think the
Yeah,
books
but I'm
are?
making the exclusion right now,
Oh, okay. Well,
for the sake of argument.
does a graphic novel count?
No. No pictures.
No pictures. Okay.
Only words.
I was assigned to read a textbook once in magic school.
Did you read it?
No, I dropped out.
You dropped out of magic school. I didn't know that.
Well, see, I went to magic school. I thought to myself, I'm here to do magic. And they were like, here's the textbook. And I was like, that's not magic. And I left.
Uh-huh. So how far did you get with your magic studies? Our relationship has never been about magic, so I don't really know.
Look, I went to the class on the first day of the semester, and that's when I found out we had to do readings. Assigned readings. I didn't know we had to... That sounds terrible.
Reading.
Yes. I don't know who would put themselves through such an ordeal. And so I would say, personally, I was there for at least an hour before we got into the class.
I'm just processing. You have other qualities. Well.
He in character laughs at that.
It sounded almost like he was like regurgitating like something he'd learned to say, like, oh, you're supposed to, that's what you're supposed to say. And he's
Empathy.
empathy.
Oh, Cora, I have many qualities, but
Smart isn't one of them.
But look, here's what I'm thinking. Right now, hear me out. What if I employed a scribe to dictate, as I dictate my book, as they would write it down onto paper for me. I wouldn't have to do the writing necessarily, but I would come up with the brilliant, ingenious, creative ideas that lurk within this temple, the holy place. I reckon that the experience of writing a book would be very different from... I don't have to know how to... I don't have to be an experienced reader, do I?
You're gonna pay someone to scribe you a book.
It could be
I
fun.
already knew you had a terrible way with money, but that's new.
Wait, I don't think this is a terrible idea. I'm sure everybody would love to read. I could talk... Look, listen, I could write about the time that I got arrested in Capital.
Filtering.
Well, look,
Riveting stuff.
it was an intense experience.
Do you know I used to run a crime gang with Tomat? That's interesting. Your littering, maybe not. We can work on this.
But you should have
Workshop
seen
it.
the
Maybe to work a
size
fiction.
of that litter that I left on the lawn.
I don't even want to know what it was. I think we should work perhaps on your magic abilities, without books, with instruction.
I just had to go through a training regime. I don't necessarily know if I want to go through. Do I have to read? Do I have to read more?
No.
Oh, I'm all ears, all hands. I'm ready to cast any sort of magic. Where do we start? Shall we begin? We've got time. It's early in the morning.
My magic doesn't really align with yours. We can try and do some basic stuff, but
Watch, I can look at this. Ready? And he picks up a leaf off the ground and he tears it a little bit. And the leaf starts to slowly mend.
Core's just looking at it in complete disbelief. He's like,
Isn't that
but it's
wild?
not the disbelief that Avros wants.
That's pretty. I think that's pretty crazy. That took a long time to learn.
Avros. Dear sweet Avros.
Yes.
We need to take you to a school where they're a bit more holistic with their learning approach.
Oh, okay, that sounds nice. That sounds rather fun. All the schools in Capital were very academic. I didn't like that very much.
Or maybe you can go to a very short, maybe week-long summer course here.
That sounds nice. I think I would be okay with that. That sounds like something I'd be down for, as long as I don't have to read.
No, I think you need it.
I think they like trees around here. I don't know if they would make much paper. Maybe the books are just... We did run into a library, though. I don't know if I'm on the right track there.
We'll deal with your fear of books later. I think we get to my foster mum's house, we drop everyone off, and then we go to the local settlements, ask around, see if there's a magic school. We leave you in magic school for a week, and see if you don't improve slightly.
Sounds like you're trying to get rid of me in a way.
I'm trying to get rid of you.
Alright, I will come back and I will come back with the ability to banish our foes. Just you wait. I have the utmost belief in my abilities. I know it's all in here, in the heart, in the core of my being. I just need to bring that core out, you know? Just take it out. And unleash it onto our enemies. What do you think, Core?
For the first time, Core is speechless.
Actually, they will not know what hit them. They will be eviscerated by my power! Oh! And he makes another leap.
To wake up, I'm done with this.
Oh god.
And with that, you all take a long rest and you're back to the world. Welcome back, everybody. Dariel has 14 days before he's no longer around with us.
Not that one.
So you're back. It is the early morning. You are awakened by Core and Avros's antics in the Feywild. It's the name of the book.
Core like runs to Jade and he's like, Jade, say nothing. Absolutely blissful silence. He looks so happy.
I continue my meditation routine.
Okay, continue meditation routine. Is there anything else any of you would like to do in this early stage of the morning before heading off once again on probably your final day of traveling before you hit the city? Now, since you're heading in a way where you're trying to avoid the city, you'll probably pass by it, but you will see it in the distance and you will see it kind of as you pass by. If you're not actually heading to the city itself, keep in mind this is like a big tree, so the actual city itself is in the tree, so you could even pass underneath it really. If you'd like to do so directly, you can avoid it entirely as well. It's up to you, up to the party, how you'd like to do that. In fact, how would you like to do that?
Are you asking us how we'd like to do this?
Yeah, just how are you doing it?
With our feet. And
Oh, cool.
Okay, so
Well,
what
that answers all my questions.
Should we take a little bit of a birth?
A what?
mm,
The birth of the city?
yeah, I agree.
What does that word mean?
It means like a distance. Like go around something.
We give something a wide
Okay.
birth.
Okay.
Avoid.
You can do this. Tamara looks at you. I think that might be a good idea.
How'd you like your flower, Tamar? Nice.
He looks at you with he looks at you and he kind of gives you a grin. It's a very nice flower.
Great.
What do you think of the flower, Cora?
Looks a bit wilted. She turns away.
Can Trudy insight check Core for the first insight check? Wait, second insight check
It's
ever?
really easy to read, but yeah.
Okay, go for it.
It's easy.
Nice. Okay. That's a 17.
Core
Core's
deception?
jealous. He's
Core's
jealous.
jealous? Ooh.
Judy can tell. But in the most childish way possible. Because it deserves pity.
He doesn't deserve pity.
I think Trudy's gonna try and take Core aside just a little bit.
Yes, Druty, the florist.
What is the issue?
No issue. Everything's wonderful. Great.
Tamara looks at you. Cora, you seem insanely jealous.
What did he roll?
What do you roll? Yeah.
That's for me to know and you to wonder about.
Jealous me of anyone? Look at me. No. Not happening. Ever. Let's go. Starts walking ahead.
Core, that's not.
I want to put a hand up.
Tamara's
Rejoicing.
smiling for the first time in a while.
I think we all know what's happening here.
There is
Can I give
really
a long
nothing
look?
beyond
I follow Core.
sibling feelings. Just
I stop and I turn and I say, "You clearly, I don't think you actually know what's happening here." Okay.
like that. She's aiming that at Core. Like
Core has like ripples of like color. His images are shifting around a little bit, but he's like, it's fine. It's all good. Peace.
Tamara walks up to you, Vidridi. Don't worry, it's fine. Let's just go along for a little bit, okay? It's fun seeing him like this. I don't see him like this very often. It's rare. This is a rare Core.
Core looks like he's powering up. What he's powering up to, you don't know.
Dirty actually looks kind of almost sad.
Does he actually?
It's kind of sad, really.
Well, it's more that like she really misses her family, and this is Tamar's basically like reminds her of that, but she also kind of looks at Core like a sibling as well. So it's just like,
I'm sorry,
oh,
Core's not Brian. He's such a sensitive git. But anyway.
no. That was well, that's why she actually tried to like talk to him about it. It's just the like
He hasn't gone too far away if you want to talk to him. He's just avoiding Tamar and his smug face. He's like,
Core, I think we need to talk. Tamara says from where he's standing with Vidridi.
why am I being attacked like this?
I think we need to have an intervention.
With me?
I think there's some
How many
tension.
interventions is this going to take?
Avros laughs in the background. More than you think.
It's quite true.
Tamara looks at you.
Core stands in front of Jade like, this is my army. Fight me.
I could floor you, sir.
very much so. We believe that.
Look,
But
I just miss my family, so I made tomato flour. That's all.
is that what you were jealous of? Oh. Okay.
Can I incite Tamar?
Yeah, you can incite him.
Trini just looks over at Tamar like, did
Dude,
you
I just
really?
take a photo. These rolls are insane today.
Driti,
Oh,
I think you thought that Core thought it was some kind of romantic thing, and that is
No.
Sex Jade for
not
a
the
second.
case.
I wasn't. I don't know what. I don't know what Tamar thought though. Is what I'm
Yeah.
confused about.
23. I
23?
just uploaded the image.
Let's just say that when he rolled a 2
Oh
on his
wow.
inside. His grin fades. Okay. Core, is everything okay? I didn't think anything. I didn't misinterpret anything in any way, I'm pretty sure.
Everything's fine. Dreety, I understand. And you.
Everything's
Well, I would say you're forgiven. I was never really mad at you. I was just mad at the sentiment. It's great. It's wonderful. Jade, hold my hand. I need. He starts walking with Jade again.
Yes. Let's go. And she's gonna wild shape so she doesn't have to be emotive anymore.
Tamara looks conflicted on the inside. Man, I can't read people. He says to himself, but anybody with a good enough perception might have heard him. Avros is laughing. He's chuckling to himself. He's having a great,
Avros knows.
grand old time. He knows. He knows. Avros knows.
Passive perception of 17.
Ooh! Yeah, Tamara's not very bright. But that's why we love him. And with that, you guys continue on forward. Now, as you walk forward, very shortly into your trek, getting closer to the city, you now begin to see that it is daylight time once again. And there is a figure that takes a moment to recognize. It looks like a big shape in the distance. Before you realize, is that a person? Is that a big monument? Is that some sort of like huge fellow over there? Oh, no, okay, that's a backpack. Big backpack. Big boy. You see a backpack the size of an obelisk with a pair of legs underneath it. Yes, Rodriguez.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, is it Captain Stronghand, but as a statue?
Oh! No, it's not that. That's a fun thought,
Captain
though. That is a very fun
Satchel.
thought.
Captain Satchel.
That is a very that's a thought and a half. Virginia, don't peek at my notes like that. No. you see somebody that you recognize as a person that's been around in your village before, Verdridi, and Core, even somebody that you may have seen around in the Feywild before. This is a traveling merchant that travels from town to town, travels to the cities, travels on other planes as well, but you've both run into him at least once before. Jade, I'm going to get you to roll a dice to see if you've run into him before. I would like you to roll for me.
Okay.
Yes. I want you to roll.
If I've run into him, it would have been with Core.
Yeah.
So
it's just more so like while you and Core were in the village where Core stole the ring, I'm just going to get you to roll to see if you would have been there at the same time he would have been there.
A D20?
A D100 for me, please.
D100. Don't get to use these very often. Let's go. 93.
93, you did run into this person. Not necessarily directly, but you would have seen this person in the town that Core and you were in shortly after Core had adopted you. And you were running away. You were in Goldheart's Keep, I think, when you stole
this
that
giant
ring.
stone man is mine now.
But you see, this big person.
Part of the
Now,
collection.
who is this? It's an old man that is known far and wide, vaguely, for his strange wares that he keeps. It's usually just useless trinkets. But you know him? Core? Maybe. For any of you, actually, I'm going to get you to roll, all of you roll for me intelligence to see if you remember his name.
6.
6?
Luck has run out.
You do not remember.
19.
19? Jade, you remember.
9, and I'm probably, depending on the timing, I might still be a horse, so...
Okay, so...
I don't remember.
9 and I'm a horse. It's a fun
Yeah.
thing.
Core, his name escapes you. You just remember that it was weird. Like, weird. Weird for a human, which is what he supposedly is. Verdridi, it's also escaping you as well. You haven't really directly ever really talked to this person, but you've seen them in your village at least a couple times while you were growing up a long time ago. Jade, you have met probably less people over the course of your life. You have a very good memory of the people you've run across. So this person's name sticks out to you, especially considering it's a very strange one. This is Zephses. For anyone who's writing notes, the way you spell it is Xephxes. It's Zephses. This is a very old
Like
man.
sassies.
Kind of.
Ah.
He's an old merchant that travels around. He might have run into before. There's just a low chance that you were going to run into him, and you deviated from the path, so now you've run into him. He is heading in the direction of the big city itself, so he's not exactly going in the same direction as you, but you see him in front of you. The one weird thing that all of you would remember about him is that while he is human and a very old, very short, very hunched over old man, there is one curious quirk about him, and that it's that he has, while he's human, a tail. The tail of a tabaxi, despite all other qualities being human.
Of course. It's Thomas's stuff inside. Here we go.
It's not. Anyway, it's like, we see it like a humanoid animal feature at all. That's Thomas. That's Thomas.
Thomas.
I would like
look,
to
it's Thomas.
pet person
God.
petting the horse. Thomas.
Yeah.
That's Thomas.
Thomas.
I have seen Thomas before. That looks like Thomas to me. That's Thomas out of 10 right there.
Thomas.
Exactly.
He works on the farm.
So you run into
Saying,
Thomas the merchant.
better
Sorry,
be.
Zephses the merchant. That's what we're gonna say.
You did that. You genuinely made that.
No, I was joking. I was joking.
I really have to go get my phone charger. No, what's it? iPad charger.
Okay, we'll take a quick
But-
break because I need to pee.
No. It will take me less than 2 seconds. I just want to point to Core and to say, Zephses is here.
Zephses. I knew that.
Merchant. Yes.
The name.
I have a
comes
question.
back to me. Yes.
Do with this information what you will.
Has it been like 6 hours of us traveling?
Since you got up, yes.
Okay, then never mind. Dridi is now a person again.
Yep, so that would have been like half a day's worth of traveling. There's not a whole lot of time left if we actually pass the actual city itself, so you're back in your regular form, and you do recognize this person, although you don't remember the name, unless you overhear Jade mentioning that it is Zephses there.
Look, Zephses.
Zephses.
Who?
Now here's
Samara.
another question.
Looks. Yes.
Does the D8 point at Zephses?
Fun.
Yes, it does.
Oh my god.
That was a reluctant yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how to answer that, but I think simplicity is the best way to go.
Honestly, it's also a good one.
It does point at him as he's in front of you walking towards the city.
You want to shout to this guy?
Yes, I think so.
as you see him walking, you all approach. He doesn't notice you, because you're on the other side of his backpack. All you can see is his thin, old man legs underneath the pack, but the pack encompasses, it totally encapsulates his entire body. You can't see him on the other side. He's like a little tiny dude, and the backpack is like 4 times his size. Bigger than Samar. It's huge. It's got a lot of crap in there. You can see stuff hanging off it. You can see a lantern. You can see some supplies. All sorts of things. You would all know him, for those of you, well, Verdridi mostly, but maybe the others as well, if you run across him a little bit in the past, maybe somewhere on the material plane, that he's more like a traveling hermit, doesn't necessarily have a home, he just kind of carries all of his possessions with him, and all of his wares as well, and just settles wherever there's space for him to settle, although he does roam the Feywild a lot more often than any other plane. But he's been around, and he's very, very old. He was old years ago, he's still old now, probably. As you approach, you get
Didn't expect him to really go backwards.
He's younger than you remember him. That's a bit strange. What's the deal with that? A bit of a Benjamin Button. Who knows? Benjamin Button, the merchant. Okay, you find him there, walking, and he notices you once you're close enough, and he lets out a shriek of acknowledgement, if you want to call it that. Ah! It's been so long, Verdridi. And he looks at you. I don't recognize you, as he points to Cor. You look very familiar, but I don't know why. I don't know your name either. Verdridi! How's everything? How are you all? Hello.
Yes. Cor, Jades, Domar, Avros, Baron.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you all.
Good
My
to
name
meet
is, I should introduce myself. I'm sorry. It's been a while. I haven't talked in a long time. It's just been, there's a lot of traveling recently, but my name is Zephses. Zephses the Great is what I call myself, but nobody else gives me that title. It's self-appointed. But I am a traveling merchant. What brings you all here? I haven't seen your face for Treaty. It's so long since you were much smaller. I'm sorry to hear about the village. Don't know
Yes,
exactly
what have you
what's
heard
happened.
about the village?
Well, I was traveling there myself just a few days ago. In order to, sell my wares, I go there occasionally to sell fruits. Rare fruits from many a plane. But, you see, as I approached, it was missing. Nothing but a giant pool of water.
There's a fish in it too.
And I don't remember seeing any fish, but I panicked, so I'm
Is
heading
there a
back.
Hotel?
I didn't see any hotel there. There wasn't any hotel when I was there. Just a big lake where the town used to be, really. And I'm not quite sure what to make of that. I've never been there when there hasn't been a town. There's been a town there for a long time. I figure if I go back to the city, maybe there'll be somebody there who knows exactly what's going on, because I am a bit concerned. You would know, Verdridi. There are a lot of dryads in the area. And
Yes,
they're all gone. They're all gone. As far as I could tell, I didn't see anybody there, unless they were hiding. But I don't know what to make of it. The trees around it seem fine. Don't know who put a lake there. Where are you all heading?
To the city? No.
No.
Yes.
Vacation.
City.
We're going on a walking vacation. Nowhere in particular.
Walking vacation. That sounds rather nice.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Not to the city. That's a bit curious. There aren't that many locations around. Aside from the city, I know there's a few houses here and there. A few
That's why
locations.
it's a walking vacation.
Well, fair enough. I'll be personally heading to the city. I'm hoping to speak to somebody there who knows what's going on. You see, when I left about a week ago, I was not under the impression that the village was gone. I was heading there to do some trading. I don't know exactly what the situation is, but I'm concerned. And I would like to find out at least what's happened to the people who I have frequented with there. I did see something shoot by in the sky a little while ago, but I don't frankly know what that was. I've never seen anything quite like it. It looked like a bird, but it was quite a bit faster than I'd imagine a bird would be, especially in the Feywild of all places.
Probably a mind playing tricks on you. You are quite old.
But my mind is as sharp as a sharp object, you see.
That was a wonderful analogy. Sir.
Thank you. I pride myself on my wit. Now, it's a bit odd seeing you all here. I don't remember seeing your faces. And he looks at you, Cor, and you, Jade. I don't remember seeing you in the Feywild before, but you seem familiar for some reason. Rodriguez, I recognize you. I've recognized your face. Still the same face that it's been since I last saw you. You know, all things like that never change. But you two both seem very familiar. I feel like I've run into you in the material plane before.
I remember Core because Core's in his changeling form and he was never in his changeling form on the material plane.
Okay, that's why he doesn't remember you at all. But he does remember Jade. So what brings you here?
Walking vacation. Have I not said this 3 times?
Feywild is an interesting place to choose for vacations, but...
We like excitement.
We have unique interests, so.
Very.
That's fair. It's a nice place to go.
So
A lot
we
of
will be
seeing to see.
returning to the city, though. This is not our walking vacation will take us to many places.
Oh, you're actually going to the city. Okay, well then,
Eventually.
have you ever been to the city before?
No.
You haven't. In that case, there are a few things I should let you know before you go to the city. There are a few things every traveler should know. Heading to the city of Tora is no easy feat sometimes, depending on how it goes. Come, walk with me. And he walks with you in the direction you were heading.
Okay.
I've got a bit of time to travel, but here are a few things you need to know. If you've never been to the city, Rodriguez, you might have been there before in the past, very young, but it's been a while. The city is a magical place. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, FCs, we will follow you later. We will be making our way now. Thank you.
Understood. If you need me, I'll be in the city.
Yes.
And he
We'll find.
looks at you all.
Bye, Nara.
Well, good luck. Stay safe. And if you need information, let me know. I'll probably be at the city by the time you get there. Adios. And he begins walking off from where you are. Diverges paths. He starts to head towards the city, which you still can't see in the distance yet. It's still a bit of time before you actually make it there. But he goes on his journey. He disappears into the distance. You see his backpack disappear through the trees as he makes his way through. Trees still kind of sparse, but they are starting to pick back up again. The forest is getting a little bit more dense than it was when you entered at first sight. Now, as you walk,
pillar again.
getting closer to it, you're still a little bit further away from pillaring, but you are making your way to a point of the forest where you would be able to pillar. And you know, Core, that the area where your foster mum lives is very pillarable indeed. The city itself is also just a massive tree, so that is extremely pillarable. For anybody who wants to use it there. Jade, I think yours works in flat wood as well, so you'd be able to utilize it there as well. And Core, if you see any stones anywhere, then you've got a chance to pillar as well. But, as you walk, Rodriguez, since you were the one who decided to diverge first and part ways with the old man, could you roll for me a D12?
Yeah.
And at the same time...
The moment he mentioned the Dryad, she just... Her whole expression just dropped. She's like, okay, cool. I'm done. Done with this conversation. It's an 11.
11? Ooh, okay. I want Jade.
Yeah.
I need you to do something for me. I need you to roll a D4.
Uh-huh.
And Aylin at the same time. I want you to roll a D100 for me.
Let's
3.
see.
3 and
3.
28.
28. 28. 28, 28, 28. Let's have a look. This is going to be interesting. As you make your way through, you're getting closer and closer. You're still a way away from Core's parents' place, but the fact that you're getting back into an area in the Feywild where you can start pillaring again, the fact that it's like 3 days walking away really won't matter, because you'll be able to get there within an hour at most. It'll be a quick travel, given that there's a lot of trees around that area, especially where the city is. So from that point, even city adjacent to Cora's place, is going to be a quick trip. That's how you're feeling about this. Now,
question: How many pillar trips would this be?
How many pillar trips? I can work it out for you very quickly with some math. Okay, this is going to be. Let's see. Let's get a calculator out so I can tell you exactly how many. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be a lot. 844 pillars.
Wait, what?
What?
844. You have to use the pillar 844 times
Okay.
What?
to
How far
cover
does the pillar travel out of interest?
500 feet. To cover 80 miles.
Really?
I don't understand maths, so I'm blindly agreeing with everything you're saying. Hell yeah.
It's an 80-mile trip, so it would take about 3 days just walking if you're not using any sort of fast transport. If you're using a pillar, it will just take 844 uses of the pillar, which, if they take a few moments each, it'll only take a few hours at most.
Wow. I don't like maths. I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand maths.
What do you ask? I know what you ask, but what do you ask?
Yeah.
God,
Is it
good.
at that point, she will have gone into her dryad form again at some point.
Oh yeah, we are definitely seeing that, I think.
Yeah.
With probably not, it's not going to take 800 of them, but I think very early into that pillaring process, we're going to see Dryad Dreedy making a display.
Yeah.
But,
Dryad Dreedy.
however, before that,
Dryad
you
Dreedy.
do hear a series of roars as you now have walked for a little bit longer. Once the old man has disappeared, he's walked on his way. You hear and clawing as count 3 black bears accost you in the Feywild. And I'm going to get you all to roll for initiative for me. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at how we're going. We've actually
Natural
got
20.
natural 20. All right, cool.
Yeah,
20. Holy moly.
14. 14.
14.
I have some new spells now.
I'm going to roll for the bears. Oh, one of them did well, one of them did badly. Jade, how did you go?
What did we add to it again?
Your initiative?
Oh, fuck. Oh!
Yes, these black bears are attacking you. Oh,
Hang on.
they do
7.
appear hostile.
Oh.
And the last one. This can be this boy. Okay.
I wonder if our NPCs are going to be okay. I'm sure they'll be fine.
We'll see.
Everyone knows to not get involved.
We'll see. Avros is generally a very
Avros
hands-off kind of dude. He doesn't seem
very
to
far
want
away.
to dirty his hands where they don't need to be dirtied. Tamar, on the other hand, seems like he's always ready to pounce, even when he probably shouldn't. He's ready to fall into that lava pit and hopefully get saved. Let's switch over to
He's running out of chances.
the battle scene. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Let's
Only
see.
so many levitates.
Tiki and Esmeralda are gone.
When he's gonna be so upset, she's gonna come back and be like, "Got rid of the
Oh yeah,
birds."
Baron is also not going to be in this fight because that is going to make things complicated. We'll figure out what the dealio is with Baron in
I'm gonna punch some bears.
some amount of time. Let's go and find where on earth this is. Okay, let me just put these bears over here. They're all going to be pretty close to you. Did I just get rid of the wrong thing? Vajudi, Jade, Core, Tamar, Avros, and Sapphire Man. That's all correct. All right, we're here. We're ready. Wait, Jade, what did you get?
7.
7. All right,
I know.
in that case...
Rolled really low.
In that case, Aroni, and Baron is not here, so I'm just going to cross Baron out. First in the initiative order, Core, you're looking at these bears, you're inspecting them. They look pretty vicious, pretty hostile. They look like they're getting ready to gnaw you a big one. They don't look like they're friendly. They don't look like they're ready to reason, unless there's some way you can manage to get out of that. But they are looking like they're going to attack you. What would you like to do? They're about 15 feet... You're about 15 feet away from one and about 15 to 20 feet away from the other two.
Okay. I step forward, looking pretty vicious and hostile, and I'm going to cast Fear on all of them.
Oh, okay. How does that work?
You project a phantasmal image of the creature's worst fears. Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop whatever it is holding and become frightened for the duration. When frightened, a creature must take the dash action and move away from you by the safest available route on each of its turns, unless there is nowhere to move. If the creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight to you, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw. On a successful save, the spell ends.
Okay.
for that creature.
Wisdom saving throw. Let's give it a try. Bears are not known for their wisdom stats, but they're going to give it a try. First one rolls. Does a 9 save.
No.
Number 1
Terrified.
is fear. Number 2 is going to roll wisdom save. Does a 4 save.
No.
Okay,
Fear.
they're also fearing you. And number 3 is also going to roll. Does a 17 save.
Yes, so one of them's not scared.
Alright, bear number 3, which is just gonna be, I'm just gonna say that's the rightmost bear out of these 3 that all have the number 1 on them, because I just copied the lair. That one is not terrified. So on their turns, they're gonna take the dash action to run as far as they can
Run away.
via safe route away from you. Is there anything you're projecting? What kind of fear are you instilling into these bears? What does your projection look like, if anything?
Thomas, only the bears know what their worst fear is, so I think you're going to have to tell me.
They let out an existential cry of despair.
Despair.
Despair is despairing. But okay, you do that. That looks like it's going pretty good. If there's nothing else you'd like to do as far as movement is concerned, we can move on in the initiative order to the next person,
I want to hide behind Jade. I'm like, aha.
which is going to be bear number 1, all the way to the left. They are going to take their turn to dash very far away. This is like off the map almost. I'm just going to say, okay, if it gets their turn and they dash away, they're just going to be out of initiative, I'm going to say.
Frozen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Emma, no! Emma! Ah! Okay, it's fine. I'll just do this. The bear, okay, this bear just runs away. This bear is going to run 80 feet away, so that bear is just gone. And then after that, in the initiative order, we'll wait, but it's going to be Sapphire Man, who will elect to hold his... Well, he can move, really. He has one action that he can do right now, but it's a very not useful one. Not going to be bringing anybody back from the dead in this round of combat, probably. So he's going to use his turn. He's just going to hold. He's going to stay still. Nobody's moved yet. He's just waiting to see what happens with the other bears. He's just looking expectantly in Jay's direction. So with Sapphire Man out of the way, since we're not really missing any content there, Sapphire Man just stays still. We're going to move to Verdreedy, and I guess we'll wait to see what happens with Emma before we go on this adventure. How are you feeling, Verdreedy? How's it going? Oh, Emma, are you back?
I'm back.
Welcome back. Is everything okay?
I think Judy will just step in front of Avros and
Okay.
hold a poison spray in case one of the bears looks like they're going to attack.
Ooh, nice. Okay. That looks like a pretty good good deal. Garden Avros. Avros looking like he's pretty gracious, pretty grateful for the cover that you've provided him. We then move now, if there's nothing else you'd like to do on your turn, to the next person in initiative order, which is going to be down the list to Tamar.
Don't.
Oh my.
Core's just like, no.
He looks at Core. Core, what kind of expression do you have?
He's just like,
He's going to, I think, attempt to intimidate one of the bears. Which I don't think is going to work, but he's going to try it anyway.
I'll cast fear on you.
He's going to... There's one bear that doesn't look...
Fear is just Core.
Bear number 3 doesn't look very afraid, so he's going to attempt to look menacing and... how's he going to do this? What would Tamar do? Actually, no. What would Tamar do? What would Tamar do with this? He's going to attempt to throw a javelin at the bear. He is going to throw his javelin... Let's go, Tamar. Who is the only character in the D&D universe who rolls worse than Neff? That's right, it's Tamar with a nat 1. He misses completely. His javelin is further away from the bear than when it started off.
Dice.
He throws
Dice.
he throws it 120 feet. What? The bear's 10 feet in front of, like, 15 feet in front of him. He throws it 120 feet. It misses by a lot.
Core uses his free action to laugh.
You laugh. Tamar looks like he put his all into that throw. His javelin is now 120 feet away. He has no javelin right now. With that out of the way, he's gonna use his turn. Look, he still has movement. He just used an action, so he's gonna go run after his javelin. He, like, threw it and he's like... and he's going to go run after it. So he's going to expend 30 feet of movement to run towards the javelin, but around the bears, so that he's like not kind of in their line of fire.
Stupid dumb
1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. He's a little bit closer to the bears, but he's kind of arcing around them just a little bit. He is now a bit further away from all of you. With Tamar's turn out of the way, we move to the next in the order, which is going to be bear number 3, which is the one
Bear
that
number 3.
bear number 3, who is not afraid. This bear is going to attempt to attack you, Core. It's going
I'm
to
hiding behind Jade, so
hide
It'll
behind
have
Jade.
to take
it doesn't
me.
hurt Jade, does it?
Okay, in
It
that
would
case, it's
probably
going to attack
Look, see
Jade.
me and not. Okay, that's fine.
If you're behind
Oh,
Jade,
I'm very strong.
if you're behind
like,
Jade,
no, because like Jade's beefy.
yeah, okay, if you're behind Jade, it will attack Jade in an attempt to get to Jade, thinking that Jade is the one causing this shenanigan. It is a bear after all. Intelligence is its lowest trait by far, by multiple points. It is going to take a multi-attack action to make 2
Also,
attacks.
it needs to take a con save because I was holding my poison spray for them to attack.
Oh, true. Okay. Constitution saving throw, was it?
Con save.
Ooh, it's good, but I don't know if... Oh, no, it's a good modifier as well. Constitution is one of its strong points. That is an 18. Does it save?
Yeah, it saves. So.
Oh! It's gonna be a bitey and a clawy. It's gonna attempt to bite you, Jade, first of all.
Okay.
Let's see if it hits you. It's going to need to move first. It's going to move
70.
to be within 5 feet of you. It is very close right now. It is right up in there. And it's going to roll a very bad roll. That is going to be a 9 to hit. Does that hit?
Nope.
Alright,
Nope.
it attempts to lash out at you and bite you with its teeth and its jaw, and
Bat
it
it away.
totally misses you. It just, who knows where it was aiming? It looks like its aim was almost as bad as Tamar's, but let's not get quite into that realm of things, because Tamar's javelin throw is on an entirely different plane of existence almost. And it's going to attempt to claw you as well. Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does.
Alright, as it misses its bite, it goes in for another swing, slashing you across the leg. This bear is very low to the ground. You will be taking, not that much damage, but some amount. That's going to be 7 points of slashing damage straight to the right leg. As the bear does that, it doesn't use any more of its movement or anything like that. It is now right up in there, looking pretty aggressive. It has just attacked you, causing just a little bit of damage. It's going to elect to not do anything else on its turn, and with that, we'll move to the next person in the order, which is going to be, aptly, Jade. What would
It's
you like
me.
to? Having
Okay.
just been attacked, slashed in the leg, how are you dealing back?
I will. Well, I think I'm going to punch it. How's that sound?
Okay, you're gonna punch the bear. Go for it.
I'm going to punch the bear right in the face. Okay,
Yeah. Dude,
so.
such a sight.
Smack that
First,
bear.
I'm going to smack that bear. I mean, I don't want to use any of my funky stuff because it's a bear. I feel a bit bad.
Yeah, it
How
doesn't.
many are there? There's only 3, right?
Yeah, there's only 3.
Do they look? How harsh do these guys look?
They look very hostile. Is that if that's what you're asking?
Okay, well then I should probably do something about it.
Oh well, 2 of them look very afraid, but the one in front of you that just slashed your leg looks like it is going to attempt to take more slashes and bites out of you if you don't do anything, or if nobody does anything, I should say.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What you
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
do something I've never done before.
Hell yeah, I love the sound of that.
I'm gonna do a searing arc strike. So first I make 2 attacks.
Okay.
There's only the bear in front of me, right? There's no one else.
Vridrides to your in front of you to the left.
Okay, I need to angle so that it's just the bear to me, like directly in front of me, just
Okay.
the bear.
You can
Cool.
definitely do
First my
this.
hits. Oh, that's really terrible. 10
10
to hit for one,
to hit, it misses.
and the next is 19.
That hits.
Amazing. So I'm going to roll my dice. Just an unarmed strike, so it's only 1d6. 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and
Oof.
then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Burning Hands, spending 2 key points.
Yeah. Oh my god.
my one of my 2 magics, and my hands kind of like catch in the light shining from my chest where the sun hits the D4, and like how sometimes kids hold a magnifying glass over ants and shit, like things like burn. It's like
Oh,
it's
hell
like
yeah,
that,
okay.
but like a flash combustion, and it just my hand ignite.
Just searing.
And yep, they need to make. Hang on, I need to figure out how this spell works. Okay, I need him to make a dexterity saving throw. That's what it is.
Ooh, okay. It's not a very good dex. Let's have a look.
It's also it's a big one.
It's a 9 on the dexterity saving throw.
Fails, which means he takes 3d6 fire damage.
Oh my god, 3d6 fire damage. Dang. Alright. Alright, this bear is getting toasted
7.
today. Maybe even
Takes
roasted.
9 points of fire damage.
9 points of fire
Yeah.
damage. It is dropping quite a bit. This bear looks like it's taking a fair bit of damage. As you sear this bear with your fiery attack, it takes quite a lot of damage. It looks like it is not holding up very well at all. It looks more aggravated than ever to take you out at this moment, more so than it did before. And if there's nothing else you'd like to do on your turn, we will move on to the next person in the order after you, which is going to be our boy Avros. So
Frost is doing things?
Yeah, everyone's doing things.
Avros is here. He's ready to attempt something. Now he sees that Jade, you have taken a little bit of damage, a little bit of a slash to the leg, and he notices this. So without really saying anything, and maybe you don't even notice as much because he's right next to you, although he's not making his presence very clear. He takes a moment to just kind of lightly touch you on the shoulder as you're there doing your thing, and you are going to take a little bit of HP back as he casts just a little bit of cure wounds on you without really saying anything. You almost don't even notice it. You just notice yourself feeling a little bit better as he.
You don't even notice that, Frost. That's a rarity.
I mean, it is a first level spell.
Who is he giving this to?
He's doing it to you, Jade.
I have not lost any hit points.
You should have taken 7 points of slashing damage before.
Oh shit. I didn't take that off my
Well,
yes.
You would have taken it from the bear attack when it slashed you. 7 points of
Yep,
damage.
sorry,
before.
I just didn't take it off on my sheet and
Yeah.
immediately forgot about it because I have the worst memory ever.
I told you. You're going to regain. Oh my god, Avarice.
Is it 1?
It's 1. You regain 1
It's
point of HP. He rolled-
Right.
He rolled a nat 1 on his heal, and he doesn't get a plus anything. It's just 1d8. You notice yourself not really feeling a whole lot better.
Like, you actually tried.
He just comes up and he does this really complicated, like, huge arm movements, like, intricate, like, spell, and, like, this, like,
He
huge-
draws a rune in the air.
And I just get, like, 1 single stitch in my side. Oh.
And you
He
feel
puts a
like
plaster on it, that's it.
you feel like if you were dehydrated before, it's like half a cup of water. You know?
Band-Aid.
You've taken a little bit of a. Feel a tiny bit better, just a teeny wee bit. The slash hasn't gone away, but it's like not bleeding quite as profusely as it might have been earlier.
There's something to what he did.
So Iris feels proud of himself. He feels like he healed a lot more than he actually did. He's grinning, but you don't really notice his presence outside of that much. With that, we then move on to bear number 2, who is also very afraid. He is going to take his action to he's just going away. He's just dashing. He's dashed like 80 feet. He's gone. Just disappeared. All right, that bear is not even an initiative anymore. They just run off. They go so far. They're so fast.
They're so scared.
We then move from bear number 2 back to the top of the order. Core, you are once again at the front lines, ready to do your darndest to do something to these bears. Now, there is a bear almost dead in front of Jade right now that caused damage to Jade before, and you are there right behind Jade. What would you like to do?
I step around Jade and I poke the bear with a firebolt.
With a firebolt.
Yeah. I'm
That's
gonna
very
roll
good.
to hit.
The way you said that, like, almost, I didn't even register that it was a firebolt for a second. You're just like, I'll just poke him with a firebolt.
Does a 14 hit?
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Ooh. 6 plus 7 is
13.
Thank you. 13 points of damage.
Okay, as you cast your firebolt, you poke it. You just right into the bear.
And this man's whole career.
That man's career
Oh, yeah,
has not only been ended, the evidence of that man's career has been wiped from the archives of the corporation where he was working until that day. And that bear is turned to complete ash as it is eviscerated utterly by the firebolt that you poked it with. Goes up in flames, goes up in smokes, and it is gone. There is no remains of the bear at all. Its body is completely destroyed, since you did many times more damage to it than it had hit points left. And with that, you're out of initiative order. And guess what? Guess what? I've got really good news. I've got really good news. Avros is leveling 1 level.
Yay, Avros.
Yeah.
He glows just a little bit.
Against so many odds.
He levels for a little peek behind the curtain. I'll just give you guys a little bit of an insight. He's now no longer the lowest leveled character. He leveled to 4.
So Tamara and him are the same.
Yeah, Tamara and him are equal now. Tamara is a bit ahead though. Tamara is close to leveling to the next level, and you guys are all very close to leveling to the next level. Baron is probably 1 interaction away still, depending what the next interaction is. But as that battle comes to an end, you find yourselves once again in the Feywild, facing off against the wilderness, against the very extremes of nature themselves, with no bears in sight. You watch those 2 bears run off into the distance, far, far away, not causing any more harm to anybody. And as you watch them run off into the distance, knowing that you at least did a good deed not killing all of the bears, you could have done a lot worse. I think that's where we're on the session today. That's where we'll bring it to a close, I think.
Right before we end, can I just do a Fey pool energy to heal Jade back up?
Hell yeah, you can. Go for it.
And can we retrieve Tamar from wherever he ran to?
Yeah.
Tamar ran 100 feet in front to go fetch his javelin.
Come back now.
I love that the first attack he gets since in sessions, he just nat ones at he's rolling nat 1.
Special.
What a boy. Oh my god. Thank you guys for playing as always. Thanks for tuning in. Lots of love. Thanks for making it. I always appreciate when you guys make time for this lovely sesh.
Always. I enjoy very much.
Back up to full, +1 temp HP.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I feel very
Looking
blessed.
good. Looking good.
Also, thank you guys for playing. I love you guys. You're
Lots of
amazing.
love.
Big
We're
love.
gonna be back again. We're gonna be back for anybody interested in watching more of these shenanigans. We're gonna be back tomorrow for some more D&D an hour earlier than today, so be sure to tune in for that. We're gonna be back again 2 weeks after that for more Shiny Boys. Next week on the same day, Sunday again, which is in 8 days, for another Disappointment Crew session, unless schedules change, in which case, who knows when that'll be. I'll probably mention that in the Discord. If you haven't looked at that yet, exclamation mark Discord in the chat, and you'll get a link to the thing. Do the thing. Do it well. We'll leave it at that, and I'll catch everybody later. Ciao for now, stream. Bye, guys. Alright, let's put it on here.